Once again, you know what it is, man. It is Sunday, so that means it's Sippin On Sundays. And man, listen, this is going to be a very, very special episode of Sippin On Sundays because this is Zoe Phillips' virtual bachelor party episode with no dancers, no strippers, no ones, no anything. I was going to have a video, Zoe, of virtual strippers. But I was told by a person that is a confidant of mine, said that is not appropriate on this show. But I had them ready. I had them lined up. I had various ethnicities, and I had one with a really big behind at the end. But they said this is not that type of show. They said it's a family show, so we can't do that. So I want you all just to do this, though. Because if we were having a bachelor party, Zoe would need some money. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this, though. We're going to make sure, and let me pull this up, because you know me, got to have it right. We got to get Zoe some money, y'all. We got to hit this right here. It's the honeymoon fund for Zoe and his lovely wife. So we starting that off. Go back at the end of the show, pull up your phone, put it on a laptop, and send my man some money. But you know what? I just thought, you know what? I got a way. Hold on one second. I just thought about something. I got a way to. Let me, you know what? I got a link for y'all. Hold on, so let me get a link for these folks. So which is better for you, Zelle or Cash App?
I do Cash App.
All right, let me see if I can do something here. Open link. Right, we'll back it up. Hold on one second.
What's up, G? Oh, swagging the fool.
No, maybe I can't do it like that. Let's see. Hold on. Trying to see if I can get this link. I did this the other night at our fundraiser. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Copy. Let me see if you get this though.
I had to go throwback today too, Steve. Everybody asked me about this. I was like, this kind of.
Oh no, we got to definitely talk about this. We got to definitely talk about this shirt you got on, because that alone. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me get this. So we got a link as soon as I get to it. For you all, there we go. This is what we want. So for all of you all that don't like QR codes, because I was with some old folks last night, and they didn't like no QR codes. So here's the link in the chat. Bless my boy Zoe. We're going to be, you know what? Hold on. That's what I'm saying. I got to do this too. Because, you know what? Let me set this up. First of all, Zoe, let's start here. Why do you have a Baywatch shirt on? I need the backstory on that immediately, if not soon.
Man, look, it was a hot day in the Jack today. And, man, I honestly, bro, it was red. I just threw it on. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't even say what I used to say, because, you know what I'm saying, we don't watch no bays no more. You know what I'm saying? It was just red. I just threw it on, man. It's like, look, my girl's a Delta, so it's a lot of red in this house.
Okay, but how did you acquire a Baywatch shirt? Is this an official shirt from the television show, or is this a double entendre?
Oh, no. This, oh, it's official.
Okay.
Oh, it's official, dog. Oh, now, man, hold on. See, and you know what's crazy? This tank top, dog, I'm not even exaggerating. Man, this tank top is probably a little over 20 years old.
And you still can fit it.
Well, hold on. You know, I at one point in time, I couldn't.
Oh.
I lost weight so I can get back into
it. Well, you know, so Zoe has his official Baywatch shirt on, but he ain't looking at no more bays but his lovely soon-to-be wife. The Cash App is in the link. Go ahead, bless my boy. But Zoe, let me tell you what I heard, man. I was talking to one of my nephews, man, one of my favorite nephews. I ain't going to say his name, right? And, you know, he watches all the other shows, stuff like that. He said, hey, Mr. Campbell, you're not going to believe this. So what's that? Mr. Ford was talking about y'all, man, talking about a good job on HBCU Coaches Corner about what we were breaking down Texas Southern. So, Mr. Ford, Mr. Ford be out there watching and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just saying, you know, Mr. Ford, listen, man, come on over here with your boys. You know what I mean? I know you over there and people trying to, you know, have this love hate thing. But Mr. Ford, we ain't like that over here. Come on over here.
Hey, man, everybody welcome. Because I'm telling you right now.
Welcome. You know what I'm saying? So I know they tried to shut you down. I heard that they said we don't talk about them over there. But listen, man, we love all them folks. You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say it out public. Timona is all right with me because Timona do good stuff. And Timona still my people. You know, we had a little falling out, but I'm too old for not to be falling out. But I'm just telling you, Mr. Ford, I know you're watching. So come on over here because I know you be wanting to put your mind to it. But I said that because this is one of my new favorite people right here. This is one, you know what? Coming out, Alabama State. So I got to do Mr. Ford. Hey, what is it? Wait, hold on. What is it? Is it Milk Stainsgiving? Hold on, bro. So what's that? Is that Milk Stainsgiving? Her name? That's close enough?
I guess, man. I guess.
Okay, because I won't say nothing crap. I'm gonna just say, hey, how you doing?
Look, you know, I told my draws with her, you know what I'm saying? So
but we straighten that up. We straighten that up.
What up, EA?
We straighten that up. So no, but like I
said, hey, everybody welcome over here, man. Look, everybody welcome over here. We're gonna have good dialogue. I'm telling you, when the season gets here.
Come on over here with your boys. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like I said, you know, we be breaking it down. I know you got some ideas. So listen, if you want to come on, just put it in the chat. Say, hey, I'm available. Bring you in there, man. Listen, listen. Shout out to EA, man. Shout out to EA. Shout out to Lil Baby. Shout out to Franklin, man. We got all the people in the house. So listen, hey, Will 13,
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So listen, we're gonna have a really special show, man. We got a lot of things, man. I got a special guest that's gonna be coming on to talk about a lot of stuff. Man, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the HBCUs, man. So listen, we're going to start off like, you know how we do, and then we're going to get into the meat of it because, you know, we got a couple of things. So I'm going to say, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but it was requested, but we're going to do a little bit later because I won't wait till the other person gets on to talk about what's going on in Howard. I was going to let that ride. You know what I'm saying? I was going to let that ride. But so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. You know, we got 2 HBCUs. For some reason, they left us. They went on over there to the CAA. So, you know, so I happen to be just looking around and, you know, paying attention as though. And I saw the CAA rankings.
Whew.
And I just want to pull this up. And I just want to ask this question, you know, because, you know, Hampton, you know, proud Hampton and proud North Carolina A&T. And, you know, I saw the preseason coaches poll, and I just want you to look at this. Oh, look at hey, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Oh, just say me. Hey, Mika.
Hey, you know what? And see, that's crazy because that's my fiance name.
Look at she like what? Who? So
you hear the background, Steve?
Yeah, don't.
Steve, you hear the background? She's like, I'm about to say, hey, Steve.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So no, don't you say that? Because like I said, we don't want to have no problem. Shout out the crook, man. Listen, we got the people in there.
You can't make this up, bro.
But I want to just show you this, man, because this is what I got my question when I show this, and I want everybody in the chat to ask this question. You go on over there to the CAA, and boy, where is Roy? Where is Dave at? Where the Aggies at? You know, I don't know. We had one Hampton go. Where my boy Hampton Vegas at? But so, preseason poll, 13 teams in the CAA. So you got the Rams leading off, Monmouth, Phoenix, blah, 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 blah. But so at number 12 and 13 is those North Carolina A&T Aggies and the Hampton Pirates.
I got a question about this though. If we gonna keep it a buck. Look, you know, when it comes down to conference realignment, we know that it's 2 sports that drives movement, decision making, the whole shebang, right? And so you go back to it. We talk about Hampton and A&T when they both decide to leave the MEAC for whatever reasons that they may have had some grievances or things they didn't like within the MEAC, right? But you can have some tangible change, but they made a decision. And we know what, Steve, football and basketball drives everything and drives all the decisions, right? Well, this is what, 4 years now or 5 since they've been in the conference? 4 years now, 4th season?
Yeah, because they left. Yeah, it has to be. Well, because they went to the Big South. A&T. Yeah. I'm talking about A&T.
A&T.
They went to the Big South first.
So this is the 4th season, I think. This is the 4th season in the CAA.
Yeah, because I think they went to the Big South for 1 year. Right.
For 1 year. So here's the thing. In all 4 years, they've been the worst in that conference. They haven't they haven't really benefited. I'm not just talking about wins and losses.
Right.
They haven't benefited from being in that conference from a football standpoint. I know, but while I'm saying this, somebody will say, "Oh, but we're this in track and we've done this in other sports."
Oh yeah, they're gonna pull that out quick now.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that's silver lining. That's a perfect tailor-made example of silver lining because track ain't moving the needle for nothing. You didn't go to that conference to be in track.
Right.
You went to that conference because of football and basketball, or a disdain for being within the MEAC, and they haven't. You at least want to be. They could justify this at least being middle of the pack in that conference.
Yeah.
I understand that it's the third toughest conference out of everything else, right? But be it as it may, you need to at least be middle of the pack at this juncture. They've been at the bottom every year since. And they went from where they were within the MEAC, right? From high on the hill, right? Oh, we're too good for this conference to now being an afterthought within that conference. They're not adding anything tangible from a football standpoint in that conference. And that's both institutions. I'm wondering now, from a football standpoint, how they truly feel being within this conference, because I did see a statement that their head coach put out about the mindset, and I know we're going to get to that.
Oh yeah, I got that.
About the mindset, right, of them being in that conference, and that was very telling, Steve. So again, it makes you wonder what the vibe and energy is from a football standpoint of the alums around their football program, and what's the perspectives? Because I pose you this question, Steve. If you're 10 years into a brand new conference, I don't care how tough it is or whatever the case may be,
right?
If you're every year going to finish the bottom half to dead last every year for 10 years, do you continue to stay in that conference, or do you decide to make a move or something? Because there is no tangible benefit of them being in that conference.
Right. Now, shout out to me, Mike. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I always respect. So he asked you this question, and I think you can really answer. What do you think about this? We mainly talk about NK and Hampton, but we don't mention how BCU and Alcorn football have struggled in that same 4-year period. What's your answer to that?
Well, the difference is I can speak to BCU, but the one thing about Alcorn is Alcorn still been competitive. Alcorn hadn't finished dead last in the conference. Alcorn can actually mention to coaching turnover, but at least they've been competitive. You can't say the same for A&T and Hampton. They've been dead last without a post. Now Bethune-Cookman, that's a different thing. I think Bethune-Cookman, Bethune-Cookman were respectable last season. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, didn't they finish 500, or did they finish just a game under 500?
They did.
So they
picked the fifth third in the East.
So that right there shows a different change than what A&T and Hampton has. Bethune-Cookman wasn't picked to finish last in the conference. You know what I'm saying? Right. They may have had 3 or 4 wins, but I mean, again, Bethune-Cookman has been a shell of itself. We can all say that, but from a basketball standpoint, Bethune has been there and been competitive and added value in the conference. They had a great year last year. You can't say that for A&T and Hampton. I mean, it's been very Valley-esque for them within that conference.
Well, I like this point right here, though. I like this point right here. Fangs out, shout out my man, shout out my nephew.
No, but that's what I said. I said Bethune-Cookman has added their value in basketball last season, but I mean, it's been nothing. They're at the bottom of both of those sports, respectively, in that conference. And I'm talking about, and it's not looking good. There's no change in the future for them. And I think we all can agree with that. Like, there's no buzz. There's nothing there. And actually, I think from an attendance standpoint, I think for A&T, I think attendance is dipping. They're pretty much relying just on G-Ho now because, again, those games aren't attractive. They're losing interest, and they're losing. Like, things are becoming minimal. They're shrinking. Attendance is down across the board, all across the college football landscape. But if you look at A&T from where they were when they were winning as opposed to now, and then, again, if you add another 1-win season or a 2-win season to A&T, I'm telling you, and this is Gibbs' second. It'll be in Gibbs' second season. Listen. I mean, so now look, if he doesn't show some type of promise in this second season, all this buzz and pizzazz about him coming back to coach with Rob Broadway's majority of his staff, how they looked in the MEAC going to the Celebration Bowl. All right, my bad. So now if you're going to he needs some tangible success in year 2 because, bro, if he doesn't get it, now you're going to year 3 What does that look like? Because now you're going to be in this whole state of what? Coaching turnover. And that's never a good thing, Steve.
See, and you know what? And I like, shout out my homeboy Emmett Jones and Mosley. This is the point. See, this is the thing about it. So, like Zoe said, A&T will come out there and holler, hey, we good in track. All right, I'm always going to give you that. But them big three, and Hamilton can't say nothing about any of those right now. But that big three, baseball, basketball, football, hey, listen, Bethune-Cookman said they got something to talk to you about. So I'm glad you said that because, we've had Coach Gibbs on HBC Coaches Corner. Now, here's what I'm going to say because I've always been honest and stuff like that. I didn't feel Coach Gibbs because he had the opportunity to be coach at FAMU. I didn't think he would be a great fit at FAMU just for a whole bunch of reasons. Now, A&T, because his background, but this is what Coach Gibbs had something to say. And I'm going to play this because you just lived right into it. And I'm like, boy, A&T, hey, man, listen, your boy might need some help. So let's play this video right here. And this is Coach Gibbs. And he's getting an interview for, I think, Box Troll Sports.
Fort Valley State was your first head coaching job. But, of course, A&T is a different kind of animal, if you will. What did you learn about yourself in your first season as the head coach at A&T?
That I don't know it all, that I still got a lot to learn. Okay. I thought I had, going into it, I thought I had a firm grasp on what being a head coach is. But last year taught me that, I got a lot to learn. So I spent this offseason really talking to a lot of veteran head coaches and finding out how I can improve myself. And then if I can improve myself, I'm sure the team will follow.
Zoe. Okay. I'm a positive guy. I respect the fact that sometimes, I'm going to let you take the opposite. I'm going to take the positive. You can take the con. I respect the fact when you know that you got to be better. I respect the fact that you said it. But you have been a coach before. And we have seen other coaches jump from D2. Tremaine Jackson, Chinnisberry, about to see what my boy Quinn Gray about to do. But he said he need to learn some things. So that made me kind of shaky right there if I was an A&T guy. What you got to think about that comment?
I mean, man, look, I know some people say, hey, once you're head coach, it is what it is. And I will lean on the side of, you can always learn something, right? You don't stop learning, you evolve or die. But bro, in the manner in which he said it, and you couple the fact with the way that they've been losing, it just doesn't paint a good picture. Right. It really, really doesn't, man. So that's why I say him saying this now, preseason of this year, going to year two, because again, year two for in a new regime or first time of a regime is very, very pivotal. I can't even talk. Because going in from year one to year two, you're going to have that continuity, or you should learn or got better from year one to year two. You should see some growth in that year two. And that's why I say this is really going to turn the tide, because again, if A&T wins 3 or 4 games or 2 games like they did last year, you're going to most likely trend down, especially within the conference that they're in. Because I can tell you right now, recruiting is going to take a hit, because what if Central is winning? You see what I'm saying? That's going to work against you. The only thing at that point you're going to lay your hat on is just being the largest HBCU. But I'm telling you, if you go into year 3 and you've only won a total of 4 or 5 games out of 2 seasons, you got to do something miraculous in year 3, because I can assure you won't get to year 4. And at this point, when you bring in, remember, it's not just Gibbs, it's the staff. Because remember, this is the majority of the guys that were on Broadway staff. When they were winning, they were dominant. So now if you actually don't win with this, now you're going to get into a state of recycling coaches until you hit it. And it's going to be hard to hit it when you're talking about being in that conference and having to do things differently.
Now, and listen, and Emmett brought this up. Hey, man, listen, and let me tell you something. Ain't nobody hating, because it's all public record. But this is the business that we in. And when we pay you $370,000, we ain't paying you more to get 2 wins, though. I'm telling you that right now. So this is the thing when I'm talking about pressure. And this is where when I heard Coach Gibbs, that's to me was part of, I got to be really better. Because, and I think he'll admit that, I'm not earning this $300,000, especially if you only won 1 game. $370,000. He's one of the highest paid coaches in HBCU football.
FCS.
Oh, that too. See, I didn't want to see. There you go. See, I was trying to just not put that all out there. But yeah, so you're talking $370,000, and now you got to reinvest, and now you've got to win in a very tough conference, because again, there are 11 other teams that they say are better than you. So let's just start there. 11 teams that they feel are better than you, and you've got to clip. So let me ask you a question. Let me flip it this way. What do you think would be a successful season for North Carolina A&T?
They have to finish over 500. Point blank, period.
Point
Because
blank.
the only thing, in my estimation, I don't care what program it is, if you have a losing season in the manner in which A&T did, the only way to turn it around, to right the ship, to give yourself some type of cushion or thing that you can feel good on, to build on a building block, I would say would have to be finished over 500. Because if you can go, A&T won what, one game last year?
Yeah.
Or two? They won one game. So if you can go in year two,
and I think that was against Tennessee State. They should have lost that game. Actually.
Yes. So they won one game, and if you can go from 1 win to 6 wins or 7 wins in year two, that's something you can hang your hat on, because you could transition from that to the recruiting, recruiting aspect toward the end of that season, and you can bridge that to year 3. But bro, if you go from 1 win to 3 wins, it's going to turn the tide. That's why this year is so pivotal for him.
Shout out to my niece Kenya in the building. You know what? Let me get shout out. Hey, first of all, look, quick shout outs. D Live in the building, Nate in the building. Hey, Rocket always in the building. Like I said, we got Emmett in the building. Shout out to L Dot in the building. But so here's the thing.
And hold on, let me say this, because Rocky said he should be held to the standard of Coach Beer or T-Jack. I don't think that he is. But you know what he's going to be held to the standard of? He's going to be held to the standard of A&T coaches. Remember, it's not the buzz with this is not the fact that they just brought in Gibbs. Gibbs had a great run at Fort Valley State, but also it wasn't just hiring him. It was him and the staff that was brought in, because this was the staff when A&T was winning Celebration Bowls. Everybody's there minus Coach Broadway. So this was supposed to be the thing to turn this whole thing with A&T around, and they hit a dud in year 1. So, and again, that can happen. Look, that can happen as year 1's transition, create a new culture, all that. But that's why year 2 is so important, because year 2 is going to really tell you the true story. Because if you get much of the same in year 2 like you got in year 1, then dare I say, we're starting to feel like maybe we made a bad decision. Maybe this reboot wasn't the right path for us to go in. Because again, it's not just the losses. That number matters, but it's how you look when you lose. If you go back to year 1, they didn't look good. And they look bad in the losses. So that's why you have the feeling going that you do in year 2. It's very, very crucial for them to at least look the part, be competitive in these games, and have a chance to win these games. Because if he don't, I'm telling y'all, if A&T win 1 or 2 games in year 2, I'm telling you, it's gonna get downright ugly over there, and over there in North Carolina. Horrible.
Now I'm gonna look, because Lawrence is right. Lawrence said that they won 2 games and they come. Let me look at the pull their schedule up. Now,
I thought it might have been 2 games.
Yeah, but I thought they beat. I could have. Or was that the year before? I thought they beat Tennessee State. Hold on, where's this? Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. No, they lost. Okay, hold on. Let's just do a quick. We're doing a quick recap. North Carolina A&T's schedule. They're 2-10 schedule. And once again, you're watching Sippin On Sundays on a Sunday. Zoe Phillips, Mr. Campbell, Zoe's virtual bachelor party. Link in the chat to give them a little bit of money to get them ones, but we're not having no women, no drinks.
There you go.
So, and there it is. I'm gonna show this real quick. Oh man, I'm gonna show this. Yeah, this is what was crazy when you look at this, and I guess the question will be, and now I might want to look at. See, now you got me wanting to look at their schedule for next year now. So this is what they did last year and everything. So, and I thought they won this game, but like I said, I was wrong. They lost to Tennessee State, of course. They would lose to, that was Hampton. That's the game. Okay. I got it confused. That's what it was. You know, UFC Hampton, that was a thriller. Hampton, actually, this was the game, if I remember, wasn't Hampton like up with like 2 minutes left or something like that?
That was
these
that
guys
game.
came back and beat them. Yeah. So they gave that game away. So, you know, my boy Trey Oliver, you know, we putting straight whip sticks on folks. 62-20. Maine, William and Mary. Hey, they played South Carolina State close. 22-16. They beat Campbell 28-24. And then the rest of them, man, was just blowouts at the end, man. They just 62-31, 63-55. You know, so at that stage of the game, you know, to see they just given up on the season.
So I got the schedule up.
Go ahead.
I got the schedule up right now. I'm gonna tell you. Their first game of the season, they play Morgan State at home. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna roll with A&T.
What your boys gonna do?
I'm gonna roll with A&T for that game. But bro, if A&T lose to Morgan State in game 1, they follow that up with Georgia State. Then they got North Carolina Central, which odds are they're gonna lose that one. Then they got Campbell on the road, Rhode Island, Bryant, New Hampshire. They play Chicago State. Dare I say they should win that game, right?
They should
win. And that's probably gonna be G-Ho. They play Chicago State. But then they Elon, Monmouth, and they got Hampton, and then they finish the season up with at home against Albany. Man, I don't see a winning season for them this year. I don't.
Well, he better call some more coaches and figure it out. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about them A&T folks, and see, man, and I think somebody said in the chat how far the mighty have fallen. Because see, I always say this: I'd rather be the big fish in a little pond than the little fish in this big pond. And it's not even a big pond at the end. And the fact that you sit back, and now here's the thing too, Zo. Now, and this is where they can't even use the excuse they're in the car. Because you know what they was bragging on when they was on their run? Man, we beating FBS teams. We know HBC beating FBS. Didn't they say that all the time? Show me my money. So you can't sit back there and say it's the conference. You can't use that because when y'all were rolling, you was getting on FBS wins. You was bragging about it. You was doing the FAMU. You was talking about it. So you know what, JT? That's the great question. That is the great question. But listen, clearly it's coaching because the coach admitted that it's coaching. He said that was coaching. So, you know, and again, this is not being negative. This is what the coach said. I've got to be better. I thought I knew things, but I figured out I don't know as much about coach that he thought. So, you know, this is one of those things that I think for the A&T fan base and stuff, I'm like you, Zo. It's going to be because how long was Vincent Brown there? They gave him 2 seasons, right?
I believe 2 full seasons.
Yeah. So if my boy only get 2 games, he ain't getting no 3rd season. Not at all. Now, Zo, I got another thing for you. You know what? Because I'm going to just rub this more in the dirt on Hampton A&T. I know you love these polls. Jokingly. I got another poll for you, Zo. I got another. And this is done by the NCAA. And you know what they did, Zo? They got all the HBCU football team. Yeah. And y'all know Zo loves polls. So I got another. And Zo, they basically got everybody in the poll. All the up and down. So I want you to look at this. 2026 HBCU football poll. Full preseason rankings as recognized by the NCAA. So, number 1, Alabama State. Number 2, Jack State. Number 3, South Carolina State. Prairie View at 4. Grambling at 5. Delaware State at 6. Texas Southern at 7. Alcorn at 8. Central at 9. Alabama A&M at 10. Bethune-Cookman at 11. Florida A&M at 12. Howard at 13. Morgan State at 14. Pine Bluff at 15. Southern at 16. Tennessee State at 17. Valley at 18. North Carolina A&T at 19. Lord, Michael Vick is at 20. And Hampton is at 21. Zo, please, Zo, I need you to explain this because it's some folks feelings going to get hurt on this. They got Norfolk at 20.
Hey, man, you got A&T under Valley.
They got A&T under Valley. They got Arkansas Pine Bluff above Southern.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
Hey, I mean, you know, it's really semantics in it, but I'm gonna tell you, the top of the list, it's a lot of things you can shake up in that too, because man, you got Grambling up above Delaware State, which is ludicrous.
That is wild.
Which is ludicrous. And also Texas Southern above Central. And Texas Southern and Alcorn above Central, which is crazy. Crazy.
I'm sitting up here. I saw, you know, when I looked at this, right? And Rocky said FAMU at 12. I tried to justify that. I said, well, okay. You know, Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, you know, they're all picked, you know, right on top of each other. I said, okay, I'm going to let that slide. But I'm telling you, when I'm sitting back, to your point, Delaware State, Texas Southern that high, South Carolina State 3. But then we get down here from 15 on down, it is straight disrespect.
Yep.
Straight disrespect.
But that's my point. I'm like, man, honestly, bro, 15, why even have a poll with everybody listed? Like, I mean, honestly, man, we really, if we're going to be real, man, you really could put Morgan State or man, honestly, Howard on down, man. Howard on down, you could just put them together as one. That's what I'm saying. You're not doing it any favors. You really aren't. You really aren't.
Well, you know, and this is what's funny. Him said NCAA, but I think this is my guy. I can't remember his name that does the NCAA poll. So according to him, I mean, he believes he is an expert because he covers HBCUs. I can't remember the guy's name.
So Rocket says today, FAMU versus Graham. Who you taking? I'm gonna say FAM today because they got the proven quarterback.
Oh yeah, I'm taking FAMU.
I'm taking FAM.
I'm taking FAMU. I'm taking FAMU. Can't say Tennessee State. Will says Southern should be even lower.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that.
B-Man said what AI mall was used to build. Hey, you know this reminds me of, you know how people was running out putting all those AI graphic flyers about HBCUs and they had PWIs all on them. That's what this reminds me of.
Look, look, VM, man, I'm gonna tell you, man. If I had to go with Eva, man, I could tell you right now, Eva would even tell me, man, after 10, forget about it. I can tell you that now.
You know, we're going to have to get Stan Beckton on the show. You know what I mean? I'm going to email Stan because Stan going to have to explain this right here.
He's going to take account for this poll.
Because Stan going to have to explain to me how he figures. Now, mind you, Southern only won 2 games last year. I understand that. But you're not going to tell me on God's green earth that anybody believe that Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to be better than the Southern this year.
Let me
wait. Now, I'm not saying Southern going to win more than 2 games, but they're going to be Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Let me say this too. Like Crook, we understand. Like that right there drives me crazy. Preseason means nothing. Actually, it does. It does mean something because you have to have a reference point, a starting point to start the season. So the thing that I would ask Stan, because the thing that's going to be very telling, Steve, is what metric are you using to rate whoever you rate? Because as long as you know that, then that kind of gives you a clue to the trainer thinking, or there is some type of metric or what's being utilized to come up with the poll. That's very telling. That's very important. People say the preseason don't matter. It's where you are in the end. It's not true. Yes, the ending does matter because the game's got to be played, but you have to have a reference point to start the season.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Because watch this. You're not going to sit here and say, guess what? It's preseason. We're going into week 0. There is no poll whatsoever. Everybody's just going to play their first game. And then we just go from there to determine who we're going to rate. You can't do that. Because guess what? It's going to change from week to week. You have to have a barometer, a starting point to dictate how you're going to set up everything from week to week.
Yes. But he said his feelings in his man, it's got to be. D'Lo, you say you beat him again? He said, we beat him again. Hey, listen. You know, when I saw this, and yeah, if I tell you this, for those teams, and you know what, and let's just go back down to, he's got North at 20. If I'm Michael Vick, the level of slander that basically said you are the worst team of all the top-notch HBCU football team in the conference. You know, MEAC, SWAC, and like I say, and others. Because this is all the schools. This is all the schools. One through what, 20?
Yeah, but
21?
What? Yeah, but what could Vic really say? I mean, they looked horrible last season. What could he really say? What could he say? He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
You know, I was trying to help Michael.
Well, hold on. Guess what? Now you obviously couldn't have watched this show 2 weeks ago. You couldn't have, because guess what? I actually picked Jackson. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So truth teller, you're telling a lie right now. Because had you tuned in 2-3 weeks ago when we did the schedule breakdown, I said if Jackson probably lose a game, the true barometer game is going to be the game
Yep.
on the road at Gremlin. I said until we beat them in the hole, I'm gonna roll with Gremlin at home. So again, yeah, you see the J on the hat. I'm always root for my squad, but again, I'm not biased to what I think I'm giving an opinion. So again, you couldn't have been watching this show because if you knew that, you would have saw it.
Now here's the thing, and I like this right here. Hampton beat them last year. So how you gonna sit back and just, you know, put Hampton? Hey man, shout out to my boy. Hey, listen, shout out to my guy Van Malone. That's one of my boys. Hey Van, listen, I'm gonna shoot this to you, so you can and tell your boys at Hampton that this is unacceptable. Battle of, you know, what's that? That's not the Battle of the Bay. Is Hampton north of Battle of the Bay? I don't know. It's one of them. I don't know.
Yes, it is. It is.
The Battle of the Bay. Okay, yeah. Hey, y'all got to get that together, man. I'm like, come on, man. So I'm like, oh, so yeah. So when I saw this, I said, you know, Zoe will like this one another poll. So Zoe, moving on. You know, one of the things that I saw that again during this time of the year, it's always gonna be some foolishness. And luckily, this ain't FAMU foolishness this time. Actually, FAMU is trying to get it together. But I saw something in the news that happened up in Tennessee State that does not bode well. So, Zoe, Tennessee State has put their athletic director on leave. So you know what? Let's talk. Now, mind you, he had to vote of no confidence of all the coaches, except I think one, and all the coaches he hired. Well, let's talk about it. So, hey, HBCU Lindsay, Kyle Mosley, my guy that was on HBCU Coaches Corner last Tuesday. Why Tennessee State placed athletic director Mickey Allen on administrative leave. Tennessee State President Dwayne Tucker placed athletic director Mickey Allen on leave 2 months after 6 head coaches signed a no confidence letter. Tennessee State put athletic director Mickey Allen on administrative leave on Thursday. The move came after 6 head coaches sent a letter to the university president there 2 months ago saying they had lost confidence in the department's leadership. TSU President Dwayne Tucker made the decision after starting an internal investigation late May when he received the coach's letter. We were made aware of multiple concerns surrounding the leadership of the TSU athletic department through the open letter from 6 head coaches. That was back in May. Tucker said in a statement, I took these concerns very seriously and immediately launched an internal investigation. Effective today, athletic director Mickey Allen has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of ongoing investigation. Tucker said the interim athletic director has been named, which they did name. I have her name. I'll bring that up. He did not discuss the investigation findings as a personnel matter, but stressed TSU is taking the situation seriously and want to treat everybody involved with care. And this was the letter that Dwayne Tucker wrote. So, what? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
So, okay.
You hear me?
What in the world is going on at Tennessee State? And how many days did your boy got before he cleaned out that office?
Man, I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you what this sounds like listening to it, man. I don't think it's just a vote of no confidence. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know. That much is evident.
Right.
There's more to it than this.
Obvious.
And look, being tied to an HBCU, being enrolled, and Steve, you'll know what I'm saying to be true. A lot of time they'll just put something out there to put it out there to cover what really is going on. So this right here, there's something else going on here. There's something tangible going on that either he has done or is a part of or didn't do. There's something there. It's not just a no confidence because I see better than I hear. And if you look at the actions of how everything's kind of unfolding, it speaks to it, clear as day. So it's unfortunate, but there's something else going on for real, for real.
Shout out to Jackson's finance real care in the building. This is the thing, and I just got to go back because this Barnum. Let me go back and find it again. This is the thing. When 6 head coaches, and I think out of that 6, 4 of them he had hired. That he had hired, Zoe, if I remember correctly, 4. And they just like, now mind you, Nolan Smith just got there. Barlow just got there. Year 1. And Nolan Smith had no problem putting his name on it.
And so, let me just say this. Let me say this too. When you're talking about year 1 and going through an interview process, building rapport, and knowing how the area AD at any of these institutions are pretty much when you hire your guys, you know what I'm saying, that you vetted for, there's rapport there, there's relationships there. So it's very uncommon to have all these fairly new coaches because the football coach is on that list too. You see what I'm saying? These are your guys, but you're getting a vote of no confidence for all of them. Where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. There's something tangible there within this, because that's a very far-fetched thing, Steve. You see what I'm saying? That's just like me interviewing, and these are people that I'm really, really cool with. I'm on the outs with everybody. There's something else to there. There's something else with this to this. And honestly, I think having the vote of no confidence among all these other coaches is just a way to expedite to get something done. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's legally within contracting, so to make sure we can get it done with no issues, no snags, all that comes into play. But there's something tangible going on at Tennessee State, and this is the issue for this termination. I'm glad you brought up Tennessee State too, because I got to talk about something within this football program that I want to touch on.
Ahead.
So
go ahead.
So during last week, let me. I got to pull up because I love data. I got to bring up something here for you guys. So just so happened to be skimming through something. And I caught wind of Tennessee State's defensive coordinator on a platform talking about Jack State, Tennessee State in the game in Memphis, right? And just so you guys know, Tennessee State's defensive coordinator is Jackson native Cedric Thornton, right?
All right.
And got to talking about his defense and, there's no way Jack State could beat us. And, the running backs they got, they trash, they ain't good. And, a whole lot of talk. And you guys know, man, I'm a HBCU historian, but I'm damn sure historian of all things JSU, man. Let me say that first and foremost. Just give me 1 second. I got to pull this up because when I have to quote the person that does some talking, because man, once you get to talking, your face is to it. It belongs to you, and you got to own up to this. Because man, I'm telling you, when the game clock strikes 4 zeros, man, they gave us so much gold that we're gonna wear their ass out with in Nashville. But let me hold on. Matter of fact.
But you may want a shirt on.
Man, listen. Hold on. Just please, you guys, just be patient with me because I got to pull this up.
And when I saw that, you know what? I'm gonna get that hooked up. I saw you comment on that, I think with somewhere else, I think. I don't know if I don't know where I saw that you made this comment. I'll work on that.
God damn it.
They said it was on Tennessee State podcast.
Yeah, it was, man. But when I let me tell you something. When you looking for some shit, man, you can't goddamn find it.
I don't see. Listen, Tennessee State said they're not scared of y'all, so.
I don't care about. Look, you can get your head busted with your eyes wide open. I don't care about the fear.
They said that they have that pride up there in Nashville. that they beat many Jack State football team. Hey, listen, shout out to Grace and Glow in the building. Purview in the building. PB12 in the building. So I was trying to pull that up.
I'm gonna have it for you. Hold on.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, listen, man. You know, because I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. That Tennessee State, Jack State rivalry, and I'm so glad that it's back on. That's a real rivalry. Hey man, look, shout out to PB12 in the building. We got to, we're gonna talk about down there at Prairie View. Definitely gonna do that.
So look, I got it. All right. So Cedric Thornton got to talk. Yeah, I got it. I got to give reference to it. All right. So Cedric Thornton got to talk. You know,
you got a clip. You want to play a clip? You got a link for a clip?
Ain't no clip. It's that. So Cedric Thornton got to talk. Defensive coordinator got to talk about what his defense is, what his defense does, what his defense gonna do, right? And I'm like, it hits so hollow because he could talk it if his defense was like that. But I'm gonna read you something, right? Because I love resumes, right? So this same defensive coordinator who got on this platform with Tennessee State folk, I just want you to know that he played at Alabama State.
Yes, he did.
Okay? You know what his record was? His playing days at Alabama State against Jack State.
I'm sure you're about to tell us.
He was 1-4. As a coach, with his defenses that he's the DC of, he was at Alabama State. He was 1-2 versus JSU. At Texas Southern, he was 0-1. At Alcorn, he was 2-3. At Grambling, he was 0-1. At Alabama A&M, he constantly got his ass tore out the frame. He is in his career playing and coaching. He 4-12 against Jack State. And when he was at DC at Jack State, we routinely wore his goddamn defense out. So how he feel the need to say about what his defense gonna do when the data and historically his defense been trash against Jack State? The audacity to talk about what you gonna do to daddy when you ain't done it. I can't. So I thank you for the gold because you're gonna have us in mid-season form after game 1. So the one thing you don't do, because let me tell you something about a Jacksonian. Let me tell you, you think a Grambling Knight keeps receipts? You think a Southern Knight keep receipts? You think them FAMUans keep receipts? Oh, no, my friend. Ain't nothing like a Jacktown Jew. I guarantee you. When that game clock hit the 4-0, we're gonna light that ass up. We're gonna be in mid-season form after game 1. It's gonna be a thing of beauty. And I'm telling you right now, I got it on good authority. We putting half $100 on. That's old school talk for y'all. $100 on that ass.
See, you know you gotta be tough and from North Jackson when you can rock a Baywatch shirt and ain't nobody even questioning. You know what I'm saying? That's just the North Jackson, that boy. That boy got a Baywatch shirt on, talking. So listen. Now, Zoe, Coach Barlow, friend of the show, HBCU Coach's Corner, said he did some good recruiting. He said he's revamped the coaching staff. Cedric Thornton said that he knows how to coach defenses. And he was talking to his folks. What he supposed to say? That y'all gonna run 40 on him?
Well, guess what? Coach Barlow record about the same as Coach Thornton against Jack State, playing and coaching too. You can stop me when I start lying. Oh, look, and just for reference, their college coach, great coach, Houston Markham, he was my neighbor. I mean, we're gonna tap that ass too.
So, let me ask you this: how important is this Tennessee State game for Jack State, and how important is this Tennessee State game for Tennessee State itself against Jackson?
I mean, it's important. It's important for all the reasons, man. It's year 2 for Reggie Barlow. They stunk up the joint like crazy last year. Follow up the success they had against Eddie George. Now you're going to year 2, and then you look at TC Taylor. Oh, we got a message to send. Last game we played, man, we lost a game we should have won. You know what I'm saying? Lost championship on our home turf. Now you're going in, new offense, bringing in year 2 first real season. You talk about Lockhart, and man, we come out. It's gonna be like TCU under Judge, man. We coming off the bus throwing bombs. We're gonna turn them loose, like Judge said when TC was playing. We're gonna turn them loose, dog. Oh, we putting half a $100 on them. Yeah, I heard what you said.
Listen. EA say, listen. Shout out to EA, fam, you rally. EA say, listen. That man say, yeah, your running back room's average. So you lost guys in a transfer, took the money.
So let me tell you how asinine that is.
Don't say y'all doing a lot of talking down there.
Let me tell you how asinine
you don't know what you really got.
Let me tell you how asinine that is. Who's recruited better than Jack State since TC's been a head coach? We've reloaded every year. Guess what? You lose Irv, we got a running back. You see, we got another one. I'm gonna tell you right now, that running back room is loaded. And guess what? He hadn't seen them, so how you gonna say what they are? He ain't seen Nate. Where you film at on Nate? You ain't seen him. Come on, Pimpin. We're gonna tap that ass, dog. I'm telling you, half a $100. It's gonna get ugly too. Lil Wayne ugly.
Yeah, that is pretty ugly. That's very ugly. So, hey, listen, so here's the thing. I'm going, you know what? I'm going to call Coach Cole. Coach Barlow's a friend of ours. We're going to get him on HBCU Coach Cole. We're going to get everybody on, before the season starts. So speaking of which, you know what? That's a good time to, let me just do a little housekeeping real quick, Zoe. Because, I am a part of another show, HBCU Coaches Corner. Well, guess what I'm doing tomorrow, Zoe? Let me just pull this up. You know what I'm saying? Because HBCU Coach Corner, everybody be talking coaches and things like that. We don't do that HBCU Coach Corner. We actually talk to coaches. So guess who we got tomorrow? I'm going to take a guess who we got tomorrow. You probably already know, but I'm going to show you anyway.
I know, man.
Tomorrow,
Reggie Barlow.
I'm going to show you. No, we ain't got Reggie Barlow. Not tomorrow. That would, that would be good. But tomorrow, which is 28, let me pull this up. All right, come on now. I want everybody to see this. Because see, what we do over HBCU Coaches Corner, everybody be talking about what T-Jack talk about. Guess what we do, Zone? We actually talk to Tremaine Jackson tomorrow. T-Jack with his boys. And I'm one of his favorite. Mr. Campbell's his favorite because I was shooting that money right quick, right when he started. So we got T-Jack tomorrow. And we're going to talk about a couple things, a couple of quotes. Now, we ain't going to talk about that in the show just yet. I'm trying to wait for another person to join before we get into it. But tomorrow, Rocket Miller Channel, Coach Tremaine Jackson, live and in charge. So guess what? While these other people talking about what he may have said or what they thought he said, because I saw a lot of people, man, listen, them PV folks was not having the misquotes out there in them social media streets. I saw Lionel going hand-to-hand combat, fighting them alternative facts. Talking about that man that want no high school players and stuff like that. Because people put that out there. But guess what? We're going to ask Coach T-Jack that personally. But you know what, though, right after that, Zone? I'm going to tell you something. We're going to have somebody else right out there on Tuesday night that we usually come on. Guess who we're going to have? Because, see, we had a show last Tuesday night that talked about this school. Let me get this on up.
You're going to go to another Jackson. You're going to end up getting Deshaun Jackson that week.
You know what? We got to get him, too. But you know what, though? Let me make sure it's pulling up. There we go. We got Coach Dishman.
Oh, that's going to be good, man. That's going to be good.
Come on, man. Listen, HBCU Coaches Corner. So, man, listen, man. Mr. Campbell all week long. I'm just coming with it with me, Rocket Coach Cole, Monday and Tuesday. So, man, make sure you're locked in because, there was a lot of talk about that PV12 against this man, a lot of slander. So, I'm going to ask him straight up. I might pull up some quotes and stuff like that. So, I just want to pull that up and everything, Zone, just to let you know who we got because, that's how we do because we don't talk about it. But, Zone, I'm going to flip it because we're going to come back to TJ. But something happened, man, that really hurt my heart.
What's that, man? What that is?
No, well, because I'm always a supporter of black men, and Ryan Clark, a guy that we got a lot of respect for, he was fired. Hey, listen, and that's why I got this headline. He said, "There ain't no laid off." Said he was fired by ESPN because he couldn't be too black. So I'm gonna just read this, and then I got some quotes for Ryan. We're gonna play on the other side. Former LSU football star Ryan Clark was among several prominent personalities laid off, and the native Marrero native didn't take long to go public with his thoughts. Of course, he went on the Pivot podcast to talk about it, and the former Pittsburgh Steelers state explained that he felt he needed to adjust to the expectation of executives during his time at the network, saying there was at least one person in power, I got a good quote on this, who didn't appreciate his contributions. What makes me a little bit sad about myself is I did adjust who I was trying to keep my job. While I was trying to keep my job, Clark said, and that he had meetings with executives trying to determine how he could better meet their demands. I couldn't have no beef. I couldn't respond to disrespect. I knew, for a lack of a better word, I couldn't be too black. What makes me sad, even in trying to adjust to being more what certain people wanted, they still fired me. While Clark was joined by other prominent figures on the list whose time had ended, he rejected the idea that he was still part of the latest round of layoffs. He said, let me put this to bed. I wasn't laid off. I was fired. So, you know, while Clark made clear he was displeased the way ESPN treated him, he didn't become emotional until he was asked if there was anything he could change by his time. So let's talk about that, because I got that. I've got that quote. And Fred Taylor, shout out to Fred Taylor, asked him. So this is the one thing that when I saw this. How many of you all of you all, like I say, are HBCU alums, you're working the job, and how many of you all have had this feeling that Ryan Clark has had, or been in this position that Ryan Clark has had, where you had to make sure that you were not too black? That was, you know, we've all heard that before. So this is him talking to Fred. Let me share this screen. And then I got another quote that I'm going to play right behind that. It is just unbelievable. And then we're going to talk about who the racists that wanted to get him out, because I'm going to pull that up. So this is Fred Taylor talking to him about that quote.
You're a stand-up guy. You've always preached accountability. Looking back over your 11 years at ESPN,
12,
11, 12, is there anything you would do differently, or do you leave knowing that you were fully yourself? Or, you know, what are your thoughts, man?
It's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. You know? Like you asked me, like when I see people in public, like OGs and like aunties and stuff, and they tell me they proud of me, and they proud of like and they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah. I wouldn't change anything. Because that means the world to me. You know, I like when I go home and this kid, you know, from the West Bank is like so accepted in New Orleans now. Like I wouldn't change that. You know, never. You know, like all I ever wanted to do was be accepted. You know, and want it. So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. You know? If you ask me, probably the first like Monday of football, when all my friends get to do something like we did like super special together. Yeah. I'd probably change it, you know. I'd probably work harder to like be who they wanted me to be, or like build relationships with like bosses or executives, you know, because like it's just a relationship game. It's like I just see these people on TV who like aren't better than me, but I know I've never been at the tables they've been accepted at. So yeah, you know, there's some things I would do differently. I feel like there's a group of individuals who wanted to like devalue my voice, who wanted to take away my platform. I feel like I let them win.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I had on mute because I was trying to get the next clip ready. Now, Miak Mike, who's in the building, shout out to Miak Mike, you know, friend of the show, got a lot of respect for him. He felt that Ryan Clark should have showed that type of emotion, that crying showed weakness. So I wanted to talk to you. You're a grown man. I think, Ryan Clark, I think Ryan's a little bit younger than you, Zoe, probably about 5-6 years, probably.
No, we're close in age. Actually, he's about
that's what I thought.
He's about 3 years younger than me. But let me say this because see, I gotta tell you something. Be transparent. So
please,
like this is a very touchy subject for me. It's a very sensitive topic for me, and me and Mike couldn't have been further from the truth. Let me make something very clear to all of you. Ryan Clark was not crying because he lost his job. He's not showing any emotion that he lost his job. Ryan Clark was emotional because he was reflecting on the impact he had while at his job. It's a distinct difference. You know how when you're in the process of when you're doing something, right? You don't really have time to reflect because you're in it. But he's no longer in it, and he was asked a question. So he's in giving his response and answering the question, he reflected on the things that mattered to him. So he's not crying about losing his job. And Grace and Glow 84, you are absolutely right. There's strength in crying. There's strength in having a release. What Mike said, I'm gonna be frankly with you, that's macho bullshit. You're not weak if you cry. Tell you what, if you're so strong, it's a weak person out here that can cry and beat your ass. Is he weak in doing so? So crying in a lot of instances comes from a place of strength. And if you sit here and think that someone who has, been holding something in and decide one day to have a release, if that's a sign of weakness, then you know not what you speak of to define what's strength or weakness. Let me make sure I make that clear. But this is a place it's sensitive to me because Steve, let me pull the curtain back, right? So
yeah,
I don't make it any secret. I don't really talk about my personal life much, but you guys know I'm in IT. I work for AWS, it's, Amazon Web Services. I don't always say Amazon because when I say Amazon, people think that I work, my carrier, things of that nature.
Just shoveling boxes or driving the truck.
Yeah, but I don't. I work where Amazon really makes his money at, Steve. Amazon really makes their money.
Hold on one second, because we got, man, listen, man, I'm super excited. Man, this is Sippin' On Sundays, Off Script Network, the Rocket Miller channel, man. This is Zoe's virtual bachelor party with no strippers, no dancers, no money. We talking HBCU sport. But man, listen, I mean, you know what? I had to have a co-master of ceremonies that, that I like. This is my other nephew right here, man. So we sipping all the way down there in Louisiana. We got to get Perry White in the house and bring him in there. Perry White, what's going on, man?
Man, look, I fell asleep on the couch. Man, it was all I remember. I got the text and I had the blinds. It was daylight outside, and I woke up. It was dark. Oh, shit. I just want to be honest with you, just straight out. I said, "Oh shit!" And I hurry up and looked. And it was like a little after 9. I said, "Man, let me get on." Man, my apologies. Hey, look, I fell asleep on the couch, bro.
Well, that's all right. Hey, listen, man. Listen, I've done a great job of the hot topics. This is one of the first one to push off until you got here. I was gonna call you to see if you were still good.
Yeah, man. I just want to be honest. I'm being frank and honest, man. I fell asleep. It was like one of them. They show the videos where back in the day, you up, it's daylight. You fall asleep, you wake up, it's dark as hell. I mean, it was dark as hell. So I got on Zoe talking about whooping somebody's ass and crying. Like,
no.
So I've seen those type of fighters before. You want to stay away from the crying fighter. The one with their fist balled up,
I agree.
Close their eyes.
I agree.
Yeah, you gotta stay away from they'll get crazy on you.
I agree.
And we're gonna address it. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna keep this comment up. Now, Perry, we were talking about Ryan Clark and his emotion, and that's what Zoe was speaking on and everything. But Zoe, go ahead, because I know you get ready to tell your story.
Yeah, so I work at AWS, right? I'm in IT, I'm in networking. And so look, all my life, you guys know I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, born and bred, born in Cleveland, but pretty much raised in Jackson all my life. I went to all black schools all my life. I went to high school with the Callaway, and I had one white kid that I went to school with my whole entire time. I went to Jackson University, you know what I'm saying? And we had some white kids there. But I want to say this because being in IT right here in Jackson, in Mississippi, and unlike most places in the country, I know people have this perception of Mississippi, but working at AWS where I work, there are people literally from all over the world right here in Mississippi, which is the first of its kind, if I'm really being honest. And when I say people from all over the world, I mean all walks of life, Steve. Just in my unit, on my team alone, I have people from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Mexico, Mississippi, Russia, Ukraine. I'm literally from all over the world relocating here to Mississippi, and that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Right. Have a great relationships with, a great rapport with, right? And they come to me a lot because I'm from here to, show them around, tell them about things to partake into. And there's this stigma, right? Being a black man from Mississippi. And I've never dealt with this type of thing, straight ahead, face to face in my life. I've never dealt with anything racial on a job until, believe it or not, I moved to Louisiana, right? I was on the movie set of Dukes of Hazzard. We filmed it in Clinton, Louisiana, just a little bit north ahead of Baton Rouge. That I dealt with anything racial in my life. And then obviously when I moved to Georgia, as you know, Steve, once you get outside 285, it ain't quite black as much. It's a whole different feel and vibe to it. But for him to feel the way that he felt and say the things that he said, man, it resonated with me in a way because, man, listen, there's this thing where black people by nature can't be racist. Because we don't come from a position where we can be, you know what I'm saying? You can feel a certain type of way, toward other races. But honestly, if we're just being real and take the Band-Aid off, black people don't feel a certain type of way about Mexicans or Latinos or any other races. We don't. Black people have an issue, some at least, when it comes to the power structure and dealing with white people. Right. But even then, it's not from a place of power. It's just a place of being retaliatory if we're being real about it, because we aren't comfortable because we know, guess what? There's a stigma. We're going to be stereotyped. There's going to be some issues at hand because there's all these other underlying issues. And so for him to feel like, again, I am a black man in this space speaking on trying to highlight things when you deal with a good number of the masses, and I'm not saying all white people, because again, not all white people are racist. You know what I'm saying? There are plenty of good white people out there. Let me say that clearly. Obviously, Blue's here, cool guy, we're cool with him. And we talk about race all the time, but it comes again from I'm gonna say almost like an inferior place because of the power structure or just the way of the world. You know what I'm saying? And so for him, Ryan Clark, to be in a space and want to uplift and highlight things, that becomes a problem to a segment of white people who don't like it. And it's going to rub people the wrong way. And so, it's sad that he feels that, by him being himself, trying to be a good steward for the black community, that's going to be some pushback and some vitriol for that. And that's the sad part of feeling that me trying to do a good thing for my community is that the retribution or the issue of that is going to be the loss of me losing my job. And again, losing the job to me isn't really the bad thing because he'll be fine. He'll bounce back from that. But it's how you do what you do. As a man, to sit there and disrespect that man the way that they did, but also to leak it to a MAGA group for them to announce it. That's low down for your employer to do that. I'm real big on Steve. I'm a man at the end of the day. Right, wrong, respect, disrespect. I am a man. If I got an issue, I'm going to step to you like a man. I'm going to handle things good, bad, or indifferent like a man. That's how I was raised, right? And so that's one thing I stand firm on. I got a 12-year-old over here I'm trying to raise. I'm trying to mold it to a man. I'm going to teach him the same values. So when I see stuff that's unmanlike or unmanly, I take a very exception to that, right? I understand that everybody wasn't raised like I was or have the same viewpoint as I do. But as a man, I just can't respect it. That was foul what they did, bro. Again, this man out here providing for his family, whatever the case may be. It was just so disrespectful, disingenuous. And again, they were so cowardice that they couldn't even be man enough in their decision to say, you know what, we fired him. They want to try to cover it up and lump it together because they had these other layoffs and say we laid him off. That's why he had to come out and say, no, I wasn't laid off. I was fired. But you see how weak that is? We can't stand on our own too to say we did this, we fired him. This is the decision that we made. We got to try to coerce some things, make something look a certain type of way so we can feel good. But the people who made the decision can't even stand on their own 2 feet and make the decision like fucking men. So again, I hate it. And again, I'm gonna be real. I hate that for the most part, race is the way that it is in this country. It shouldn't have to be, but let's keep it, man. It is what it is, and it's gonna be the way that it's gonna be. It's never going away, right? And I'm in the minority. I wish things were still like they were in the 60s, because you know what? If you racist and you hate me, I'd rather you tell me on the front end and I know it, so I know how to deal with you. The worst thing is being in this space. So I'm thinking I'm in a safe space. I'm going to work to provide for my family, and yet still you cut my legs from under me because you don't like how I talk, you don't like how I dress, or you don't like that I want to big up things in my community. You see what I'm saying? And then you know what's foul? Hey, bro, this is an HBCU space, right? Hey, bro, we like to do these things for these HBCUs. So now it makes you think even the shit that they doing for HBCUs, or guess what? The Celebration Bowl, all that shit is disingenuous. Because how can you want to uplift HBCUs, but you want to turn around and actually do a black person like this that's highlighting black people? You know what I'm saying? It's contradictory. It really, really is. So are you really for black people, or just some PR bullshit? Well, I guess we understand and we do know the latter. Like, it's bullshit. So I don't respect it. I don't like it, man. Kudos to Ryan Clark for even being a stand-up man like he is. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it, and it was refreshing to see him speak his truth and to be vulnerable as a man needs to be. Because as a man to say, again, I'm not crying and shedding tears over this job. I'm shedding tears because it moved me knowing that I was doing the good work when I had the auntie saying, keep your head up, keep doing your thing, boy. We proud of you. Any man should feel good to have your elders looking back down on you to give you kudos for the work that you're doing. When we all check up out of here and get in our box, what's the one thing we all want God to say? Good job, good job well done, my faithful servant, right? It's the same thing. You feel good when your elders, you know what I'm saying, come down and say, man, Perry, man, I like what you're doing over there on Jaguar Journal. Keep it up, youngster. That feels good to you because you know you're on the right path of doing a damn good thing, right? So you appreciate that. So when you reflect on that, it is easy to get emotional, I would think. But as a man, and I pass it to you, Steve. As a man, I can appreciate his vulnerability, and it's refreshing to see a man be a man and handle things through adversity. I learned so much more about Ryan Clark through this episode than anything else he's done on the pivot.
Perry, what you got on that?
Shit, it didn't take Ryan Clark for me to realize how corporate America works, boy. Listen.
Damn right, Perry.
Listen, I'm talking about that was a point in my life at one time, man. I had a boss every day. I doing my work, doing my work, man. He called me to his office and be like, why shouldn't I fire you today? I'm like, man, we with this again today. Like, bro, that's one of the things about black folks in America, I guess, if we're looking at the Ryan Clark situation. And a lot of times you try to assimilate, you do your best to try to fit in, you may not. I've been in situations where I've seen the guy want to be the token black guy and then looking at me to join in. And the token black guy in the white space is typically what they call the teddy bear, right? You're the nice guy. I've never seen them upset, never seen them mad. When we say, hey, we're going to hang out and have drinks or whatever, he come. Then you have that one that draws the line and like, man, no, I'm good. I don't want to go hang out with you. Like, work is work. Right. My personal life, like, I've been looking at you motherfuckers all day. I don't want to look at you tonight. All right, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Then you come across seem to be sometimes hostile because he don't hang out with us. He don't want to do things with us, and there's so many different ways in I guess, quote unquote, in corporate America that it does not matter how good you do. When the bottom line is the bottom line for them at the end of the day, you on the chopping block. And that's what comes with the territory, and I think Cam Newton said it great, and I think Stephen A. realized it once they brought in Pat McAfee and they did cuts in, that if you're going to be on these people platform, it's best that you start something on the side, so whenever it falls through, you can, from those fans that you made on the major platform, you can then bring them over and generate traffic to your platform. And I think Ryan Clark has done a great job at that. I think Shannon Sharp was the perfect example of that transition. And I think now Cam Newton as well falls in that transition. So to see Ryan Clark cry, I mean, that's anybody. It don't matter if you're white, black, blue, brown, shit. You lost your job today. You know, and not only that, that job was lost publicly with a lot of ridicule that came behind it. So there's a little bit different than when if I lost my job and shit, the only people that's gonna know is me coming on here telling y'all, man, I got fired today. Y'all like, oh no, Pete. But when you get fired on the main stage in front of everybody, man, that's tough. And so I can understand where Ryan Clark come from, but he had to get a dose of reality for what most black folks realize. No matter how good you think you are not safe ever. When you fall into that space of corporate America, and whether you want to say the white world or whatever it is a cutthroat business, and you never know what day your throat gonna get cut.
Well, I want to address this. And, hey, listen, you know what? This is all about conversation. I'm never going to shut anybody down. And I respect when people have an opinion, because a lot of people talk smack and don't even say nothing in your face. But, Mike, I disagree with this, because Cam Newton's position and Ryan Clark's position were two different positions. Like Cam Newton literally said, I'm here just to learn and train. Ryan Clark was an Emmy-winning star that was a major cog in several shows. So he wasn't on job training. Like he said, had been there 12 years. And my thing is, like, this is two things that I think is important. I never have a problem. And see, I'm gonna say this to the black men, and this is for mental health. You know, when you're younger, oh, you're a man, don't cry and all this stuff. And these are the same people that have depression, blow their heads off,
crash out.
They don't know how to express their emotion.
Things
happen. That's the reason why your body does that, to release the tension and pressure. See, people got to understand the reason why you cry. That is a thing, so you don't have to hold it in. But if you go in there and think that causes you to be weak, what I tell you is that shows me your weakness, because you're afraid of something that you shouldn't be afraid of.
Well, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but see, go look at me and Mac statement just then. He confirmed what you just said. You sit there as a grown man saying you're never going to give anyone the satisfaction of seeing you cry. So you're worried about what they think about how you react.
Yeah.
That's power. That's power and dominion over you. You're concerned about how they view what you do. I wish I might let how someone else feels be the controlling mechanism for how I react and how I feel. You control and think for oneself.
And so I'm going to tell you something. This is a time, because I want to get to this next quote about how people warn you on things, though. And Perry kind of brought it up, where you got to watch how you move. Because there is a thing. Man, listen, I'm going to say this again. All you guys are younger than me, so you're a little bit closer. But Perry, Lionel, Scotty, KJ, all them, Keith, I am so proud of you, young brother. And Perry, I've told you this so many times. And as they say, the OG. And I would literally, when I see you guys performing, because I know what you guys have to go through, but I also know the people that laid the groundwork so you guys could do what you do. So when I see you on Jaguar Journal, it warms my heart. When I see you and Scotty, when you guys did your thing, and now he's over there, Alabama, yeah, I literally get a tear in my eye sometimes, because I'm so proud of you guys. I know the stuff I had to go through, and the things when I came out of college, and we were sitting up there, and all the black people, don't y'all sit together for lunch because it's going to look funny. Like, what? I'm from HBCU. I'm sit who I want to sit next to. And then to your point, Perry, the black guys get up and like, oh, well, no. Let's just kind of mix and mingle. I'm sitting with you. Well, I thought I'm sitting with you, but maybe I'll sit by myself. So I've always been on that. So that's the thing about it that I think we all have to understand. And like I say, I'm not telling anybody to be weak, because when it comes time to be business, and I think Perry stands on it, so, and Mike, I know you stand on it. So nobody's going to see my weakness, to your point. But I think in that format, what he was saying is basically the love that people appreciate, because we work very proud. Even with Stephen A. When Stephen A. goes and does the things for us, we're proud of him. We're happy for him. My mother, and then, like I say, who lived in Jackson, who could not use the restrooms, she's very happy when she sees any of us do anything, because they went through it, so we didn't have to go through it. But I wanted to go to a point where I saw, and this is where I tell you, boy, you got to watch it. And this is where a quote, what he said when he talked to Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to pull this up, but then I'm going to play the video. So Ryan, this is the headline right here. Got some heads up. Ryan Clark reveals Stephen A. warned him about one executive. Now, and think about this, one ESPN executive So he saved his card. He said he later revealed on his podcast that ESPN executives know that he is unhappy about Clark's firing. This is Stephen A. talking about this. So this is where I'm saying, I got some heads up. I mean, a summer ago, Stephen A. sat with me. He took me to lunch in Los Angeles, and he told me, he said, you know, there's a particular executive that doesn't like you. Now, I'm going to tell you something was interesting about this. And what really is really interesting about all of this is that they're comfortable enough to tell Stephen A. this. That them white people had no problem saying, hey, that end over there really don't like him. Might want to check him. Might want to talk to him. And Stephen A. in his position was like, yeah, I'll talk to him. And I appreciate he talked to him. But that just lets you know where he's at with them. That they had no problem saying, you go over there and you talk to him because he's getting on their nerves. Now, here is Ryan talking about that when he talked to Stephen A.
Stephen A. sat with me, took me to lunch in Los Angeles. And he told me, he said, you know, there's a particular executive that doesn't like you. Now, let me be honest. I had been hearing this for years, right? It had gotten to me so many times. And so having that dinner or that lunch with Stephen A. was just confirmation of it. He's like, you need to go set a meeting. But so many times when I heard about this particular person, it was, he doesn't like you, or he's said this negatively. So I'd heard it a ton of times. And I got a call this offseason from someone within the building. And, you know, they said the way I stand up for our community is commendable, right? That they respected that in my position, I had a passion for that. But they also said it had created enemies for me at the executive level. It had created opposition, and that there were people within that building that were going to stand on the table for me. And it was such a shock because I thought to myself, in the most important year in ESPN football, you got to stand on the table for me? Like, for me. Like, there's somebody that needs to be convinced that our NFL coverage is elevated when I'm on TV. Like, there's a person that knows football. There's a person that knows TV that thinks that 13 years in the NFL, Super Bowl, Pro Bowler, a captain, experience from being an undrafted free agent to trying to make the team to being one of the leaders in the locker room. 12 years of doing this, you got to convince that person that I should be doing TV. And
so when I saw this, and this was the only thing that kind of bothered me, and this is where I mentor a lot of young brothers, and he kind of knew that they was gunning for him. So then the question is, do you live free or do you live for the job? And that's a question. That's a personal question, because some people need their job every day. So that's why you got to live for the job. But if some people say, I don't need this job, so I'm going to keep being me. So I'm not going to criticize that. But I found it interesting that he knew that them white folks was gunning for him. And then, of course, they used the Kewan Lacey thing again. Not Kewan Lacey. I'm sorry. The young man, I told that's not his name. That's the running back. But the athlete down at LSU about the car accident, those things that they tried to use against the Angel Reese thing, him, it was
Kewan Lacey. But then they used Kewan Lacey and Greg Brooks.
Okay.
Both of them.
Okay. So when you start using these things, and I sit back and I hear this as an older black man, I know what that feels like. But I also know I've been the one that has made that warning to the brother. Hey, man, listen. And people will tell you, man, and anybody work for me. Hey, man, if you work, anybody black works for me. Because I'm pro-black. But the one thing I'm going to do, hey, man, don't let these white folks catch no angle on you. Don't ever come in here late.
I'm
Go ahead.
cool with it, but he wasn't the only person that got fired though, so it's not like he's a martyr here.
Well, no, but this was what? No, but no. Hold on. Now I'm saying what he said. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
He said they were laid off. He said he was fired.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He believes he not. I'm just saying now you got to stick to what he's saying now only for this to make sense. Now I'm not disagreeing with you, Perry. I'm going the reason why he's talking the way he's talking. Because if he felt he was laid off, then it is what it is. No, he has said publicly, they fired me because of who and what I am. That's what he said. So I'm sticking to that. That's the reason where my tone and tenor comes from. That he just said it, that there was an executive, and mind you, that executive was Carl Ravitch. That executive didn't call Clay Travis over there out kick about him. He didn't. He called about Ryan. So that's why I think there's a difference about the layoff with Carl Ravitch, who have been at ESPN forever, compared to Ryan Clark. When you knew this guy, Clay Travis, had been gunning for Ryan and talking about he's woke, and you drop it so they can drop it and embarrass him. So that's what I think the difference is.
Well, that's not the only difference. The difference is in the layoffs, right? The layoffs were when the layoffs happen, there is a separation from the company. You still get your pension. Those things aren't removed from you. So distinct difference, a thick line between being laid off for TV cuts, right, as opposed to being terminated. Because being terminated, now the whole different thing.
He still get his check. That's right. He's still going to get his check. Go ahead, Guzzo.
Yeah, you know, you get what's done in your contract, but when you talk about severance packages, you know what I'm saying, those types of things, language when that, it's a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal.
So what we getting at here? Where we going with this? What, like I'm saying, are we sad that he was fired, or are we praising him for the fact that he was fired and he's crying?
Well, for me, for me,
in a white space, like
I'll say this for me. Again, because I know some people say, okay, well, people get fired every day. Yeah, two things can be true. Yeah, it's one thing to get terminated. I take exception and take issue with the fact of how it was done. Because again, I believe in doing things decent in the order. I understand where you work, but at the end of the day, as adults, as men, it's the way you do anything. Because I live by one creed: how you do anything is how you do everything. And that, right, to me, that would rub me the wrong way. You sitting there, you're on live TV. And because that's not how ESPN does it, because we haven't even seen them do this, and they fired plenty of people. They've laid off more people than they laid off this particular go-round. But to sit there and eviscerate this man in the way that they did was totally uncalled for. I took exception with that. You're live on air, doing a show, and then you sit there, call him in on a break, and then you terminate him. By the way, then proceed after you've terminated him. Literally a few hours later and the next day, you sit here and you're putting all this information and tweeting, promoting new shows with the man you just fired. The man you just fired. Oh, by the way, we're going to leak to a mega group you're firing. Like, all that was intentional, dude. All of it was intentional. And I take exception with that. Everything else, people can feel how they feel. We all have a difference of opinion. I don't get into that point of it, right? But for me, I didn't appreciate that. That was some bullshit.
Well, if the writing been on the wall, you should see what's coming, the play that's coming. You know, and if the writing on the wall and you want it to be there, you want it to be there. But if it was said to you and pulled to you to the side and say, hey, look, you know, it's somebody higher up that's in a position of power that if it goes their way, you not going to be here. It's understood. We've all been in positions where somebody that came to you and said, hey, man, I don't think so-and-so like you. Now, if it's a coworker and you and them on the same level, then it doesn't bother you. But if somebody comes to you and there's a boss somewhere and they say, hey, this boss does not like you, the writing is already on the wall at this point. And then you find out, if I try to schedule a meeting, you read the tone of the room, or you see they don't want to meet with you. It ain't hard to pick up what they putting down. They probably don't want me around, and it probably won't be too much longer before the X comes at me, right? And then I'm chopped. So I think with this situation, he saw it was coming. He just thought maybe as big as he was, they wouldn't do me like that, you know.
Right.
Me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't disagree with anything you said. You actually hit the nail on the head, right? But everything that you speak to and how you said it, Perry, everything you said was to just being terminated. And guess what? Writings on the wall. You got a heads up. Everything you said speaks to just getting terminated. And again, for me, had he just got terminated, I don't even think we're having a show. I don't even think we're talking about it. But it's not the fact that he was terminated. Let me make sure I say this clear. It's not that he was terminated. It's how it was done. It's how it was done.
It's corporate America. ESPN, the power, anybody of that magnitude. I don't come to think that they're going to be graceful and genuine in how they react and what they're going to do. I expect the absolute worst. When you working for an entity like that, that is the highest of the high. When you're talking about damn near corporate America with Disney behind you and all. I mean, it is corporate. It gets no more corporate look than that, and it comes sometimes with a price when you there, because at the same time, we don't know what he felt like he had to sell out on in order for that to fall through. And it hurt because I had to do certain things that I did. Well, shit, that's what comes with it, because then you have to switch up from not being yourself just to be able to be accepted in the space that obviously will keep you around. And at some point, when you get in that space and you start to show you a little bit more and a little bit more, and they like, well, this ain't the same guy that started here. He was a teddy bear when he started here. Now look at him, you know. Us being black, we know what the deal is. It don't come as a surprise. They are not here to be your friends, and they made it clear that they don't mind, they don't care, and they don't give a damn about a future in terms of being his friends personally. But business-wise, it was like, toodles, skedaddle. All right, get out of here. And he wasn't the only one.
Well, Perry, I'm gonna tell you something, and I think, as Blow said, both things can be true. But I guess for me, and what my biggest problem, confirm, we know racism. Like I said, all them jokers. Like I said, that's why Pat McAfee gets away what he does, and that's why he makes more money than Stephen A. So I understand that, because I'm grown. But my thing is, what bothers me the most is that, again, when you go to Outkick and you chi and ha with a racist, we got rid of this end. I got a problem with that. Now, for Ryan, and you like your point, hey man, you know it's coming, bro. You got to be ready for it, because it's coming.
Hey, your show called a pivot. You got to pivot.
Yeah, you got to pivot. So that's the thing that maybe, again, I will agree with you on, is that, bro, they've been, you said you've been feeling this for a year. So you know what, me? And so here's the me and Mike side. I already know that you're trying to get me. Sooner or later, you're going to get me. But when you get me, now I'm not going to let you know how I'm going to walk out the door. Now, that's the me and Mike thing I agree with, especially when I know you're trying to get me. Because I've been there. I know what that feels like.
I'm shook spot seeing what was coming down the pipe. It was like, no, I got the next move, not you. I'm not even going to allow you to put me in that situation with the next move, knowing what's coming, and then flip it. So it was just a matter of time for Ryan Clark. He saw it was coming. Maybe he felt it would not be him. Maybe he thought, because of his presence and what he does outside. I don't know what it was, but you can tell it hurt at the same time. I don't know what he may have sold out on for himself to personally be there in the business side of thing, to be able to be one of the few to make it. But then he just got a rude awakening today. And I think he should understand the business anytime is cutthroat, dog eat dog world. And it does not come as a surprise as a black man in America, especially working for a big time corporate company that's on the white side with ESPN partnered with Disney.
I'm going to say one thing too, which is, and EA brought this up, the buck breaking part of it. Because trust me, all them young brothers, McCourty and all them other cats, they ain't going to say nothing, bro. They're just going to be X's and O's, my guy. They ain't going to get nowhere near anything. All them young cats is coming through, because they clearly want to make sure they keep their job. And that's the thing that I do hate about that, is that now when you see that, them brothers like, man, I don't want to get like Ryan. I don't want to happen what happened to Ryan. So now what does that stop them from doing? If something is wrong, are they just going to be quiet? Which probably they will. That's the only thing that bothers me, is that those young guys that are coming up through the ranks, now they see what happened to Ryan. And like I said, they're just going to be like, hey, thanks for having me on, Mike, and go get up. Thanks, Stephen, ain't having me on, and all that stuff. And that, like you say, that ha, he. And that's the only thing that bothers me. But that's part of the business. To your point, Perry, that's the game.
You just take it for what it is, because you're not here for a long time. You're only here for a good time. Take it for the good time that it is. You're not a staple to the point. I mean, so many people have come and gone from ESPN, right? You're not a staple unless you find your niche, i.e. like Jay Walker, right? Jay Walker has survived the test of time at ESPN. You know why? He found his niche. He is our go-to HBCU guy. And then the Ram that they don't want to give 100 people the HBCU beat. He gets the HBCU beat with Tiffany Green, and both of them have interlocked to hold that down. Unless you got that niche, man, take it for the time that you can to grow your audience, to grow a fan base, and then whenever that day comes and they give you that card or they fire you or they unplug, whatever they're going to do, then you use that to build your base, and then you build something from there. Hopefully somebody else, Fox or anybody else, then gives you a call. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is what comes with the territory. It is a dirty world that we live in. And especially when you make it to the upper echelon of corporate America, there's no right or wrong way in which they feel like they can fire you. And then at the end of the day, remember, they are the machine. They can control the narrative. It's on you to show the world that narrative through your work.
That's it. Well, I'm going to leave Perry right with the last word. Hey, man, I just want to bring that up. But, Perry, we're glad you're here because you know what?
What?
We're about to head on down to Baton Rouge because your coach said some things that people, I think, are confused about. And I had to read it twice. So I'm going to bring it on up because your coach, I think it was that Swag Media Day he made this quote. But we're going to talk about it. And you know what? Matter of fact, let me do it like this. I'm going to pull up the quote and then I'm going to read it. Let's get that up here. So this is Marshall Faulk that I got an article. I believe that the next level is no longer the NFL. HBCUs get poached by the FBS. They want our players. I believe that we as coaches, we have to look at it for what it is and start preparing these kids and coaching them and making sure they have the capacity for the next level. Now, let me pull up this nice little article. Shout out to my people over there at HBCU Sports because they put a little bit more perspective behind it. Let me pull that up. So here you go. Marshall Faulk sparked the conversation during Swag Media Day after arguing that the next level for many HBCU football players is no longer the NFL, but the football subdivision. The first-year Southern University head coach pointed to the transfer portal and the change in economics of college football as evidence the elite HBCU talent is now being recruited away by FBS programs before even reaching the professional ranks. I believe that the next level is no longer the NFL, which we just read. I believe that we as coaches, we have to look at for what it is and start preparing these kids and coaching them and making sure they have capacity to move on to the next level. Marshall Faulk added. Faulk's comments reflect one of the biggest challenges facing HBCU football in the transfer portal era. Many of the subdivision top performers began their careers at HBCUs before attracting interest from FBS programs, where increased NIL opportunities and greater national exposure often make transferring an attractive option. At the same time, Faulk's comments are likely to generate debate across the HBCU football landscape. Some critics argue that the next level should still be defined as the NFL and believe HBCU coaches should focus on developing players to reach professional football directly from their current programs. And of course, Faulk is not the first former NFL star to embrace this philosophy. During an interview with Edwin James, former Bethune-Cookman, can we really call him former Bethune-Cookman head coach? Ed Reed said he would accept his program, so a developmental pipeline for Power 5 programs. Perry, that's your coach?
Them folks call Ed Reed.
Right. I'm like, really? Former?
Damn.
Yeah.
I first, where's the video of this? Like, where did these quotes come from?
I've been searching high and low. So that's what we do.
Swag Media Day, somebody don't have this. They used to say this not on wax. Like, where's the visual to where I can hear him? I don't know where these quotes are coming from. They're just popping up everywhere. But for every coach there on camera, where you chop and you cut, and then you can play it just like you did with Ryan, with him making his statement. But where is this statement coming from? Do we even know Marshall Faulk actually said this? I don't know, because was this something he said on the sidebar to somebody? Did he say it on the main stage? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm asking that before I dive into it.
No. Listen, hold on. No, wait a minute. When you said that, because one thing I don't like, because man, we see this too much, especially in these HBC podcast space. The misquotes, people don't know what they're talking about. Oh, I heard Mr. Campbell, blah, 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 this school, blah. And I'm like, bro, that's not what they said. That's not what happened. So I literally looked for it. I've been trying to find out where he said this at. Because I'm like you, where is the video? You going to tell me not one person on the side does not have this on video, that's why I was kind of like, but when my boys over there and Yahoo and HBCU Sports put it up, I said, okay, I'm going to run with it because I don't like running with stuff without video. But with that being said, to your point, I'm agreeing with you. But with that being, if he said it there, what do you think about what he said?
Okay, there we go. If he said it, because I don't know. I would say this. We live in an ever-changing world of college football athletics and college athletics, correct? The world is different how we view it. The yesteryears of you seeing a guy coming to be a part of your program as a freshman, he's growing up, and by the time he's a junior and a senior, we have become fans of him, right? Because you had an opportunity to watch that player grow up and part of your system, and in 4 years as a part of your system, and they become this superstar for your program, respectively. That's whether it's all conference, all American, or impact player, whatever it'll be. Those days are over with to the full extent of where you're not going to get a lot of those guys anymore. The way that this world is looking at today in terms of the athlete, it is a dog-eat-dog world the same way. These guys are not coming to play for your school because I'm in love with that school and I'm passionate about that school and I grew up my whole life wanting to play for that school. Those days are over. On top of the way that the high school student is being recruited, the high school student is being overlooked unless you are the top tier talent in a high school level. The big time schools are only going to go after those 5 and high end 4-star guys. The days of the 2-3-star guy making it through out of high school, most likely that guy is going to end up at your HBCU most likely for a year or two, or he's going to go off to junior college for a year or two, or he's going to be on somebody's practice squad or 3rd or 4th team for a year or two before he decides to say, I'm going to the HBCU, right? The HBCU landscape has now become what it is, as I know Alabama A&M coach said this a while back. Y'all remember? He talked about the stepping stone.
DT. Yep.
And everybody got their panties in the wad saying, we're better than that. We're not a stepping stone. But at the end of the day, that's just what this is, man. And to the fact of trying to get to the NFL, I think that's the other side of it. And I'm going to throw this, trying to just touch a little bit on everything. But I think that's the other point to the scheduling. When guys come to you at this point, what they looking to do? Create highlights. Isn't that what this is about? It's all about a highlight tape now. So even on the scheduling side, you have to be able to provide and put these guys in a situation where when their highlights are on wax and the NFL guys are looking at it, that it presents a challenge enough for them to say, that's the type of talent that we want a guy going up against because we feel that can ultimately be valuable for us in the NFL. It's just a different landscape, no matter how you look at it, no matter what they said, Faulk said in this situation. At the end of the day, it is evolving in front of our very eyes. It is not the same college athletics, in particular this one, college football that we knew it of the past. It is changing, and because it is changing, we don't understand really what the direction is and what it looks like or where we're headed. And because of that, you just got to sit back and watch it and realize, do not go into with your HBCU programs with the same mindset in 2026 that you had 10 years ago in 2016. It is a completely different world, and do not view it the same way that you once did.
Zone. Jackson State got the big NIL. They've had people leave, but you guys been able to keep people. What do you think about allegedly the quote that Coach Faulk has made and him being a first-year coach making this quote?
I think it was shallow. I think it was low-hanging fruit. I think it was tone deaf. To be honest, I didn't like it, and I don't think any coach or any seasoned coach would have made those comments. To me, I think it came from a place of inexperience. I know you may say, well, he's been around the game of college football, but I think it was tacky to me because, a lot of times it's the perception of it and how it can be conveyed, because it's one of those things to me where I think he may have said it, but he kind of been meaning it in a different way. But again, being that he, is who he is, because it totally just came off like where we are really isn't good enough. And basically the NFL is not where you're trying to get to. It's, hey, leave here to undoubtedly go to the Power Four. And that's going to pretty much be your creme de la creme. And hey, if you just so happen to get a chance to go to the NFL, well, great. But the creme de la creme for you is not even here. It's there. And that right there, to me, it missed the mark. Because man, look, I will always say this until I'm dead and gone. I don't look at HBCUs like they're lesser than. You know, I've seen the way things were in the past, and again, I understand that just because things have changed, I don't live in this stigma where if you go to the SWAC, the only way you can get drafted is, you know, you have to put up these ungodly numbers because if not, they just won't look at you. I don't buy that. And the players that leave this conference actually prove that. Because if they didn't want you, and you doing what you're doing here now, and nobody that's leaving is putting up ungodly numbers, but they want you anyway. So the thing are, you have the goods. You have the goods to get there. You don't have to be on a bigger platform to get drafted. That's not true. I don't even know where that stigma came from because the data doesn't even support that. People want to move and make decisions with guarantees in life. There are none. And that's in every facet of life. People make decisions because they want guarantees. There are none. Guess what? You can go to Alabama. Yeah, you can sit on the bench for 3 years and play 1 year. That don't mean you're going to get drafted. And people say, well, it's more likely. That's not necessarily so. And also,
Now,
even
can
if
you put the quote up while he's doing it? Can you have the quote up while he?
Oh yeah, sure. Yep, absolutely.
and then even if you were to get drafted, right? Getting drafted is not the end all be all. It's a great moment. The thing is getting there and sticking there, right? So that's why it's not a bad thing to be an undrafted free agent and make a roster and have a fulfilling career. But again, it's just the optics, man. Because again, it's almost like, honestly, if that's how you really feel, I feel this way. If that's how you really feel, bro, why you even go to Southern to coach? If you really feel that way, why you even come to Southern to coach? Because to me, if that's how you feel, then to me, you're selling, man, come here, just come here for a year and I'm gonna help you get to the big stage. Literally. And to me, you cutting Southern legs from up under them. I would rather Southern have a coach that, man, I want to be here. I want to get you to the NFL from here. Now, granted, yeah, there's some guys, I understand the landscape, and there's going to be some guys that's going to leave and transfer over. Man, I wish you well because I recruited you. You came here, you left for whatever reason. But I still want you to be on the premise of you can get here from Southern. And I'm going to do the thing necessary to get you there.
I guess my perspective with this quote, right? It says, I believe that the next level is no longer the NFL. In my opinion, with that statement is to say that the end goal to make money now is not the professional ranks, right? I believe if I want to dissect it in that way, the NFL ain't the end goal. These guys can now make millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars still now while playing college football. The only way to touch money before was to get to the NFL, right? Now, illegally, schools did what they did through their boosters, right?
Right.
You know, there was a guy that owns a car dealership, and everybody else on the team seemed to have Chargers, quote unquote, but we don't know how to, we can't put it. Nowadays, it does not matter. So I believe in that statement, that's my interpretation, that to get to the NFL, now these guys will come to your school for a year or two trying to get the bag to go up to the next level. That next level is what? Big time FBS ball, right? And that's a check that comes with it. Everybody don't go to the NFL, even when they make it to the NFL, making millions of dollars. The untold story, typically, I guess, quote unquote, would be the sad story. Everybody ain't millionaires in the NFL either. Right. And so with this statement, just from what I read, what it said, I believe the next level is no longer the NFL. And by what he's saying, HBCUs getting poached by FBS. It's saying, hey, these guys can make an opportunity because we already know it's a 1% that's going to make it to the league anyway. This is an opportunity that we know these guys coming here. They're not saying I'm coming here, coach, to play to get to the NFL. They said, coach, I'm coming here to play so I can get to a bigger school before that opportunity even presents itself. Right. And I believe that's my interpretation on this, that it's not a downplay to say coming to the HBCU. In my opinion of the interpretation of what I'm seeing is just the NFL. It's these guys now see there's another step now, and that's big time FBS football. And in the eyes of most of these amateurs, that is professional nowadays.
So let me tell you. So here was the old head in me when I saw this, right? Because this is the old head. Because I remember when DT, like you said, Perry said this. basically said we could be a JUCO. And everybody went crazy, and I didn't like it. There's something to say to worry about where your feet are at right now. Now, if coach is saying, listen, I'm going to go recruit the best guys, and I'm a developer, and they get to go move on, then that means I've done a good job. If that's what his point is, then I understand that. Because I've heard some coaches say that. But I will tell you from the Florida A&M principle, when you get those mercenaries and guys that don't really want to be there, it doesn't work. Because they're not paying attention to what's going on where the grass that their feet on. I've seen this firsthand. And Cozy tried this, and it didn't work. And it doesn't work for most. And look what we saw Alabama A&M do this. Maynard tried to do. Maynard brought all those guys in there, and those guys did not want to be at Alabama A&M. Didn't work out.
So
I think, go ahead.
I just want to say this because, like, I'm looking at Ralph Polly's comment, right? So let me. It's like, okay, if Arkansas offered Trey Hollis $700,000, he gone. Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing: we've had enough players leave to go up, right? They're not making money like that. So also, when it comes on the Power 4 level, we want to find outliers to say, oh, if this one player goes here for this amount of money, I mean, that's kind of like duh, right? But let's use the data for all the players that's left that's going on.
Keep going, Zoe, because I got something that keep going because I saw something that might go one way or another.
They're not making money like that. They're not. So again, you can have the desire to want to make it here. We all do, but they're not getting that. So that's like we want to bring up Captain Obvious about what they're getting paid or if they got this. Well, it's like duh, yeah. You know what? If I'm at Jack State, I'm a Jack State diehard. If I'm at Jack State and goddamn it, Notre Dame want to give me $3 million, yeah, you know what? I'm probably gonna leave and get $3 million too.
Well, I think too, so we can't look at it as every player, right? We got to look at it as the exceptional talent that oftentimes when you look at your roster, you can pretty much look down the line and can probably maybe point out one, maybe two guys that you feel has the potential.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing, though. We have to deal with the law of averages. By nature, we have to. Because guess what? You're gonna have, if you say you want to look at the exception, you can't just say we got this one exception, but we lost 30 guys who went into the portal. You can't do that. You have to deal with the law of averages. The majority of them ain't getting money like that. So, huh?
In this world where they say and better than nan, we live in a world that we cannot downplay a guy going to get $30,000 compared to a guy getting $300,000.
No, but my point is, you have to. But you have to in this context because we're not talking about a 1% player leaving. We're talking about players leaving. Mm-hmm. Because the dichotomy of the argument is we have this influx of players leaving because the next level is what they're trying to get to. So we can't cherry pick it.
Let me show this, man. Shout out to these brothers. I follow these brothers on social media. HBCU data driven HBCU, and they did a breakdown. So here's the thing. I'm going to get down to the part of the article where they had people leaving and going. The real numbers behind Marshall Faulk's next level warning. For generations, the pitch to a talented recruit walking HBCU was simple: play here and the league. So they went down and they broke this thing down. And this is and they talked about the poaching. Over the last 3 transfer cycles, 180 players left Division I HBCU programs for FBS rosters. That's an average of 60 players per year walking out of SWAC and other Division I HBCU locker rooms into Power 4. So there you go. 65 in 2024, 73 in 2025. Now, this was crazy. A big dip in 2026 of 42. So they said no corner HBCU has been spared, including Faulk's program. Tennessee State lost 22 players to FBS program over 3 cycles, the most of any HBCU. That's interesting. During George time. Grambling lost 18. Florida A&M lost 16. Jack State 11. Southern lost 10. Including safety Tyler James to LSU in the most recent cycle, and the destination range from Georgia, LSU, et cetera, et cetera. And then they talked about the money. But here was the thing. Here's what I like. What happened when they got there? The harder question is one of Faulk's framing implies. Is the FBS actually the next level or stepped away up? Or that's simply over the 180 transfers, 138 left in 2024 and 2025 cycles, and have therefore been through at least one NFL draft. the 2026 transfers will not be draft eligible until next spring, so they cannot be judged. So here he goes. Among those 138 draft eligible players, we found 11 with a confirmed NFL opportunity of any kind, meaning a draft selection, an undrafted free agent contract, a rookie minicamp, and invitation. That's 8%. Exactly one of the 138 were drafted. And I guess this is all the kids that they showed and everything. The other 127 players have no confirmed NFL opportunity. That group includes players who did everything the portal promised. Andrew Jones left Grambling, started at linebacker at Ole Miss, and landed on the National Awards watch list. James Ash left Florida A&M for Auburn, defensive line, and SEC. Both went through pro days this spring. Neither has confirmed NFL deal. And the one draft pick in the group comes with an asterisk. K'Ron Prunty began his career at Kansas before arriving at A&T, so his fifth-round selection is pretty much a return. And here's the pipeline. Here's the fans' pushback. Our pipeline dashboard counts 92 HBCU players who reached the NFL in some form across 2021 through 2026. Of those 92, a full 74 went directly from an HBCU campus to an NFL opportunity. No portal, no FBS. So there you go. 2021, 7, 2022, 15, 2023, 11, direct from HBCU, the one transferred, 2024, 12, 2025, 19 and 10, and 2026, 28 and 21. So the direct route is not shrinking. The 2026 class produced 21 direct from campus NFL opportunities, the most any year we track. For every Travis Hunter who left and became a first-round pick, there's been far more players like Carson Vincent, the Alabama A&M tackle, drafted in the 4th round in 2025, well, ever leaving, finally proven scouts still walk through the HBCU doors. Well, Faulk has a point fans should sit with. But inside those dashboards is a trend that supports Faulk's larger warning. Look at the draft count. Of the 13 HBCU players drafted since 2021, 7 reached the draft through a transfer. And a recent split is start. All 3 players drafted in 2026 were HBCU roots. Coleman, Fuller, Prunty left the HBCU programs before the draft day. No player has been drafted directly off an HBCU campus since 2025. And before him, Isaiah Bolden in 2023. The direct pipeline is wide, but mostly flows through the sports side doors. Of the 74 players who went straight from HBCU campus to the NFL opportunity, only 10 have reached a 53-man roster. So we'll just get on that. The verdict, folks, quote, works as a warning, not as a career map. The FBS clearly wants HBCU players, and for a small group of elite talents, it's become the launch pad he describes. For the other 92% of players who made the jump over the last 2 draft cycles, the FBS was not a step towards the NFL. It was a destination. And thanks to revenue sharing, it is likely the biggest football paycheck they will ever cash.
So the FBS is the NFL for a lot of these guys, is what I believe Faulk in his perspective of that quote is saying, that the goal is not the NFL for a lot of these guys, because we knew how hard it was for just that 1% of guys to go to the NFL. Because how many years have you seen a FAMU team and a Jackson State team, and you saw a guy on that roster that you knew should have been an NFL guy? And what did he do? He went undrafted, maybe made the practice squad, maybe showed up to a camp, and then ultimately got waived or unsigned or whatever the case may be. I'm using that as an example to say that FBS now, with the money that's on the table, whether it's $8,000 a month, whether it's $30,000 flat out on the table, whether it's $300,000, or whether you that exceptional talent and you got $3 million. Think about what's the guy that's Ole Miss's quarterback, Chambliss?
Yep, Trinidad Chambliss.
He may not have an opportunity at the next level. So Ole Miss right now is his NFL. Diego Pavia just got cut from the Baltimore Ravens, right? I'm sure Vanderbilt, for what he made and whatever he got from there, that was NFL for him at this point, because he did make it to the next level in terms of getting a big time paycheck. So the way that I look at the quote, to not take it out of context, but to take it for what it is, I don't think it's a shot at the HBCU. I think it's a real understanding that these guys, if they do come to us and they have some years of eligibility, they're going to try to play their heart out. And if they make all conference, and damn sure if they make all American, that kid ain't talking about, I'm going to stay here because I'm trying to get to the NFL. In some cases, they may. You may get that exceptional guy. But for the most, they're going to look at is the grass green on the other side. And if the opportunity presents itself, whether I'm going to the league or not, at least I can go over there and walk away with something more than what I have, because I get it. HBCUs have NILs. I get it. We have collectives. I get it. We have booster groups. But we also low resources, right? Low resource institutions. And we make sure we say that out loud anytime the system get rough on us. And then we say, well, you know what we dealing with. What we dealing with is right here is a different game that we can't afford to play. And a lot of the guys will look at us, unfortunately, as a stepping stone to come to your school. They may not know your alma mater. They may not know when your school was founded. Hell, they may have just found out about your school because I saw you in the portal and you was talking that business with me. Never even knew you existed. But those kids most likely will come to you to try to then get that next level up, because the next level up for them, like this quote said, may not be the NFL, just FBS football, and whether that's group of 4, group of 5, power 4, whatever the case may be, and better than that when they looking at what they put in their pocket. And now $100,000 may feel like $1 million to a kid who ain't never seen that or never made that. Nobody in his family ever made 6 figures ever. So that becomes like, that's a mental thing, and it becomes some cases life-changing for a kid when you may be the first person in your family to ever see what making 6 figures looks like and why you in college. So I believe in my heart of heart, that's the way I'm perceiving to look at that quote for the context of what it is. Not to say HBCUs don't provide an opportunity to the NFL. I think the NFL, what we look at is pro now, is a different look. And pro for us is no longer NFL. Pro is now the fact you can go to a big time FBS school and walk away with something in your pocket.
Zoe, what you got? Wait a minute, are you frozen or you got?
To me, I can understand the new landscape. I can get the thought process behind it, but still, I don't know. It's almost like, well, I'm just gonna come to grips with it. So you know what? I'm just gonna treat this where I'm at now like it's a JUCO. And you know what? Let me just sit here and prepare them to move up. And you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're still gonna roll with what we have here is lesser than. So you know what? Let me just accept this reality, and you know what? Let me move and coach and do everything set up to treat this like it is what it is. I'm at a lowly HBCU. Prepare these guys to go up to the NFL. I'm sorry, to the FBS, and cut my teeth there. So I don't agree with it. I don't roll with it. Again, I would never put down HBCUs. I'm not being emotional. I'm giving my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And just because we have a difference of opinion doesn't make me emotional. I'm sitting here talking like I talk all night long. So
that's
but it's not
personal. It's a reality that if you don't want to accept it, you know, because of the love, right? The passion, what we were built off of, the mission. God damn it, HBCU. Woo, baby, don't nothing turn me up better than to hear a band and see the football and the Greeks and that's oh man. But
hold on. So I'm not wrong. And this is not a right or wrong equation. You feel how you feel. It's not a right or wrong thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. See, when you mentioned my name just then, what did you say? You said, Zoe, what do you think, right?
Yeah.
You said, Zoe, what do you have? It's not a right or wrong thing. Y'all see, again, when y'all can talk about somebody being emotional, I'm gonna ask a question, I'm giving my truthful, honest answer. Just because you don't agree with it or you don't like it, don't make me emotional or wrong. It's not a right or wrong thing.
No,
me and Perry can agree to disagree and keep it pushing. It's not about Perry, you right and I'm wrong. I'm not even saying nothing to prove Perry wrong. I never want to say, hey, Perry, you wrong and how you think and how you feel.
You know, to the point, I look at it as there used to be a time you can love the player. Oh man, that was my favorite player. I love that guy for 3. It's straight transactional now.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time you could love a woman. Now she just leave that $40 on the table over there for me. All right? Ain't no love in here. You just do what you do and you get the hell on. Because somebody else got $60 for me a little bit later. You know,
and she run out quick too, boy.
Huh?
She leave it quick. She ain't even going to sleep.
She don't want to go on no date with you. She don't want to hang out later. It's transactional. That's what this is, man. It's the harsh reality. This is all transactional for the vast majority It's not because of the love of what it used to be, and the love that we still may have for, because at the end of the day, we went to that school for the respect of that school's name. For a lot of these players, it ain't the name. The name is just something they changed on the jersey. That it can change today, and it can change tomorrow, whatever the case may be. It's just transactional for the opportunity of financial gain for a lot of these guys at this point.
So here's my thing. So for the people who say I'm being emotional, right? So basically, so what do we feel now? Let's say we get a high-ranking high school recruit, comes to an HBCU, thrives, become an anomaly, and stay 4 years. These very few people who sit here and think I'm being personal. So now what you're gonna say? They're idiots for staying at HBCU, graduating, and then having an opportunity to get drafted. So they're idiots for doing so? Are they wrong for doing so? Because they're going to be like the outliers in doing so. So basically, everybody's in agreement, right? You come to an HBCU, you'll be a fool to sit here and stay at an HBCU with a chance to get drafted. Literally, the people who say what they're saying. So, because they're going to be the 1%, right? Think about it. High school kid come, hey, I love FAMU. I love Southern. I love Jackson State. And guess what? I'm getting a little NIL money here too. You know what I'm saying? I had an opportunity. So you know what? Andrew Biden. I guess Andrew Biden's a damn fool for coming back to Alabama State, right? So it's like, man, pick a side that y'all want to be on, because there's no consistency in what you're saying. You said, what about? No,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'll got me ready to talk with you now.
No. I'm saying
talking to the people. I'm sorry.
Yes, because I am, right, because that's my thing, right? So when we have players that get entertained, right, to leave to go up to the big leagues, right, because that's their new NFL. So I guess at the end of the day, they're probably dumb for you're a damn fool for staying at Alabama State. You got your degree. There's no way.
Don't take it like that. Don't take it like that, please.
I'm just saying.
Don't take it like I don't think you're a damn fool for staying there. I think it may have made sense, in particular at a quarterback position. Quote unquote.
But here's the thing. But again, you got an opportunity to go to the NFL, which is the Power 4. So how dare you come back with some offers on the table, or Group of 5, or Group of 4 rather? So you'd be a damn fool to come back right to an HBCU. And then I see Rocky say, well, Andrew Biden's getting paid. He's not the only HBCU player getting paid. He's not.
Well, I think he could have made some more money going to the next level, but then with 1 year to spare to play at the quarterback position, does he want that competition battle where he can be in somewhere where it ain't no competition? Like, you're the guy. We're going to pay you well. You're the guy. Once again, quarterback position is a lot different from the other positions, whether it's a trench guy or a skill position guy. A quarterback position, even if I go somewhere as a wide receiver at some point, I still may touch the field. I have a chance. Quarterback is only going to be one guy, especially if they paying some money to bring you in. So I think Andrew Body is just a different case when it comes to 1 year of eligibility left, and you ain't trying to go nowhere to be in no damn competition. Bama State is a comfortable place right now, and if they gonna willing to break me off something, I'll stay for the comfortability.
Yeah, but if I can go to the NFL, which is the Power 4, and make a substantial amount of money, because remember we said, hey, if it's Trey Holly can go for $700,000, I'm quite sure a quarterback can make more money than that, especially with Body's resume. So
I would put Trey Holly's value higher than Andrew Body. Trey Holly already showed he went to a Power 4 school. He went to LSU. I would not say that knocks who Andrew Body is, but once again, quarterback position is a lot different, and we've seen and I'm just speaking particularly to quarterback. Not many SWAC quarterbacks have had opportunities to go to the NFL. And as great as Aquill Glass was, as great as Felix Harper was, both of these guys' names are in the upper echelon of SWAC football. That opportunity did not present itself too well, but I can assure you, if we live in that NIL era now, it may be different with them maybe trying to take a look at another opportunity. Because think about, remember Noah Johnson, Alcorn State? It was before the NIL era, but Noah could have came back and had a competition battle with Felix Harper. He chose not to. He went to South Florida, and guess what? It got even worse for him.
So the thing is,
quarterback position.
So here's the thing, because I see in the comments saying, they want to move up to make more money. With my understanding, well, I understand clearly what that is. My thing is, like they go up to the Power 4 and or make to the NFL and you have free agency. There is risk, right? You bet on yourself. So at the end of the day, your thing is whatever you need to do to try to get to the NFL, not the NIL. Because again, you can sit there and chase the money. I know you may say, well, hey, I got 1 year to get there and I can make so X amount of dollars. Well, we don't have players that's actually jumping up that's making the crazy, significant, stupid ass money. But the thing is, but we don't know if you have said player that's probably giving great feedback in regards to going into his senior year, taking a risk to bet on himself. Because again, now we're making this decision as if like these players can't get drafted to the NFL, not the Power 4, and actually make some life-changing money. Our thing is, oh, hey, just go automatically. You got 1 year left, man. Go to Power 4, get $100,000 and ride off to the sunset. So we have a player that's a fool for thinking I can stay at this HBCU. I love it here. Get my degree.
Fool,
and
man. He is not a fool.
no.
Okay.
I don't think you're reading the comments. I don't think you're reading the comments, Perry. That's why I'm saying it, because basically it's like you a damn fool if you got an opportunity to go to the Power 4, but you're going to stay here in the HBCU with a chance to get to the NFL or get your degree from an HBCU. I'm speaking solely to the comments. This is not directed toward you. So my thing is because it's either you got two choices. Remember, the next level is the Power 4. So I would be a fool to stay at the HBCU if I got this opportunity to go to the Power 4 because that's the next level. That's my point.
well, listen, let me. Okay, so here's the thing. So it's funny that I literally had this conversation. We got a young man that's going down to FAMU, one of the top quarterbacks in Georgia, Armand Parker. So we had our freshman send-off. And I was talking to Armand. He said, hey, man, I'm excited to go to FAMU. And, man, we're going to go down, we'll build down there with Coach Gray. I said, listen, Armand, I'm going to be honest with you. What I like is that you want, and this is what I'm talking about. Armand wants to be at FAMU. He's coming down there to be the FAMU quarterback. I like that. Everything is focused on FAMU. But I tell you what, if he comes out there and guns are blazing 2 years from now and lights that thing up and Georgia come asking for him, you know what I told him? I said, nephew, I ain't going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad because I understand the business. But what I'm talking about is you got to be careful about recruiting kids that don't want to be there from the get-go. That's where the danger lies. And I've talked to too many coaches on HBCU Coaches Corner, off the record, and that is the one fear when they're recruiting these kids, that these kids are not focused on what's going on right now. Not to say that they don't mind them transferring. If they build them up and they go and get money, I don't think there's any coach in the HBCU say, hey, stay.
Hey,
so
Steve, can you?
Kids, the problem is they don't even focus on the game that they're playing right now.
Steve, can you please highlight Blues comment for me, please?
Right here.
That's all I'm saying, dude. The data don't lie. So again, my point is, NIL. This is not the first year of NIL, dog. We've had this shit since 2020. If you look at all the players who's left, even if you take into account the money that's been made, the players leaving here ain't getting it.
I think to this point too, a lot of guys make it to the NFL and don't see the field. You know, whether you leave the HBCU to go to the FBS and you on the practice squad, how many guys get to the NFL and don't see the damn field and be on the practice squad making a couple $100,000? You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm trying to put it in perspective to that point, to what you're saying, and overall that at the end of the day, it's all about the almighty dollar. These kids ain't going through here trying to think like they mature enough like we are with enough experiences. A lot of these kids coming from backgrounds where ain't nobody in their family that made no
when you put it like that, I tell you what. If you go to that Power 4, for the most part, you say you're going to the almighty dollar, right? So the data show, if you're getting a couple $100,000, you tell me what's better. 1 year of it, 4 years of it.
It don't matter. Whatever I can get right now.
No. I understand that, but hold on, give it a comparison. What's better? So, 1 year, hold on, 1 year of $100,000 or 4 years of a couple $100,000?
So what if my 1 year at $100,000 and I do something better now? I increase my value. I don't settle on 4 years of $100,000. I take my chance and bet on me, get $100,000, and that $100,000 may increase to $400,000 just for year 2.
But here's the thing: we don't have players leaving here that's getting year 2. That's the point. The players that leaving here are getting 1 year. That's the thing.
Well,
When
we cannot
hold on. The players here, we're going by statistics and data. The players here are getting 1 year on the Power 4, and they're not playing, and they're not getting that money. But when you use the example of saying the practice squad, well, shit, if you got a player that's on the practice squad for 3 years getting $250,000 a year, I'll take 4 years of getting $250,000, then 1 year of getting $100,000, and they not even getting $100,000.
Hold on. Where are we going with the numbers?
What I'm saying is you don't have a single player from the SWAC who left this conference that's getting over $100,000. Not one. Not one.
And I'm saying
hold on.
$100,000 may not be the goal, but shit, if I'm getting, let's just say, what's the bare minimum of an NIL that you think at Jackson State? What's the bare minimum of a guy getting an NIL at Jackson?
$15,000.
$15,000. All right. That may be a lot for me at this moment, and I'm taking it. What if Southern Miss calls and say, look, they're giving you $15,000, I'll give you $35,000. $35,000 sound a lot better than 15, and knowing even if I go take that 35, for a lot of these guys, the money gonna be the option, and they get there, they may not see the field again, right? Oh man, you was great in the SWAC, but your value went up. Now you made $35,000 this next year going to Southern Miss. Unfortunately, that's the part of the game. They chasing the money. Everybody not, but for the vast majority, they gonna go get that $35,000. $35,000 may not sound like a lot to somebody who makes $60,000 a year going to work every day, or $70,000, whatever the case. But for a kid who is looking to get something in his pocket for what he's worth now, he's going to milk it for everything that he can, quote unquote, for the guy that know he's not going to the NFL, or he may not be NFL caliber talent. But right now he sees I have a value on my name. Everybody don't have aspirations and dreams to go to the NFL. And we all know how many guys, we come from communities where the guy was the greatest in the community, the greatest in the region, and he never sniffed at the NFL, right? So I just think in this perspective, it is about the dollar. If I'm getting $15,000, I cannot diminish what $15,000 is to anybody, because $15,000 for somebody could be life-changing. $100,000 could be $1 million to somebody. So if somebody put $35,000 more than that $15,000, that's damn sure could be life-changing for them to have that amount of money right then and there, and nobody in their family probably ever made over $20,000 a year. So what they say, $35,000, not a lot of money. Hey, to who? To a kid that may have came out the bottom in Baton Rouge, or to the country kid who may be the best football player making it out of Cleveland, Mississippi. Shit, that's something. And that's all I'm saying. We can't look at it through the lens of the mature minds that we have today in this world as the grown men and fathers and everything else that we are. We got to look at it as a young guy who's chasing. Shit, we was chasing refund checks. Now think about that. How many people you knew? And I went to an HBCU, so I know the guys who came or the girls who came and got a refund check and dipped. You didn't see their ass no more the rest of the semester, right? How many of y'all knew was just chasing the little refund check? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You seen that before?
Listen, I went to Florida A&M. I see a lot more than that.
You know, see, they just show up to get.
I seen guys chasing people's credit cards and living off $4.
I mean, maxing the credit card out in college, and then max that subsidized and unsubsidized loan out. You know, and then they gone. They just came here to get the money, the refund check. Now they didn't put a lot more safeguards in place now. But that's what they was only here for 3 weeks. They didn't give a damn about coming to get them grades, trying to get a degree. Man, give me that check so I can go to the damn mall, because you know that's exactly where everybody went for the fresh shit.
All right, so last word, and we're gonna move on because we got this big topic. Got anything else? There it is. So, man, listen. Hey, I'm just gonna say this to all the parents and young people watching, man. Whatever decision that you make, because money should be a factor, but your future should also play into it. Because I tell you one thing, you get to the league by playing. That is bottom line, point blank, period. So you go where you're going to play if that's your goal to get to the league. If it's not to get you a little bit of money, like Perry said, then you get you a little bit of money. It's on you. But I will say this, we have seen a lot of kids that have left and they make that phone call talking about, I wish I'd come back. But with that being said, man, let's talk about the big topic for the night. My man, T-Jack, man, he went down there, had to check them white folks down there in Texas. He was kind of upset. And let's talk about it. Because T-Jack said, hey, man, y'all don't respect me and what we do. And this is my guy. Tremaine Jackson blasts the Texas High School, I guess that's College Coaches Association, Texas High School Coaches Association, for coaching school for the snub. You don't respect our ball. Tremaine Jackson wants respect. The outspoken, I like how they wrote that, outspoken Prairie View. Who wrote this? I always have to check with HBC. See, they never, when they put these little sneaky little headlines, they never put their name on it. Well, why is he outspoken? Now, anyway, the outspoken Prairie View head coach said his program was disrespected after Panther assistant coaches were not invited to the Texas High School Coaches Association Coaches School, arguing that the staff had earned the recognition after the historic season. Jackson said his issue was not with the event itself. He described the annual THSCA Coaches School as phenomenal and said it remains one of the best run coaching events he's ever attended. But he said the selection process for college representatives and clinic participants left out Prairie View A&M coaches who had proven themselves on the field. My issue, why weren't our coaches there? Jackson said in a Facebook video, we've heard that coaches were invited based off of last year's results. Jackson said the explanation did not sit right with him, given that Prairie View accomplished during the season. The Panthers won the SWAC championship and appeared in the Celebration Bowl, nearly winning the HBCU title. These accomplishments, Jackson said, should have led Prairie View's presence at the event among Texas, FBS, and FCS schools. We are the only school in Texas to play for a national championship. Regardless of the result, we were the only school in the state to get there. He said, Jackson said the Panther staff deserved consideration of the production they helped create. Our assistant coach, coordinator, position coach did a phenomenal job. And he said, you don't respect our ball. Jackson also pushed back when he sees a broader pattern of disrespect toward Prairie View and HBCU football. My issue with THSCA coaches board is that they pick clinic speakers. If clinic speakers is you don't respect our ball. You don't respect our ball because we're historically black college. You thought Prairie View was something that Prairie View is not anymore. He always preaches that. Prairie View A&M plays real ball. We play real ball. We coach real ball. We recruit real football players. I got the video. So let's see what T-Jack is talking about in the actual video right here. Now, shout out to Tremaine Jackson, my guy right there. He'll be on HBCU Coaches Corner tomorrow. That's how we do.
And I normally don't do like videos and all that stuff, but I just couldn't sit on my hands and feeling like our program had been disrespected, our coaches especially, or even our players. And so anytime that happens, we're certainly going to say something. We just came from coaching school, THSCA coaching school, phenomenal event, always has been, always will be. I've been to a lot of states. Nobody does it like the THSCA. Everybody thinks they're doing a great job with high school football. I think the state of Texas does it better. I'm biased. I'm from Texas, whatever. There was college coaches there speaking on football, clinicking on football. And my issue was, why weren't our coaches there? We heard that coaches were invited. I found out that coaches were invited based off of last year's results. We've moved on, but last year's results, if that was the case, if that was the criteria, then somebody should have invited our assistant coaches. Our coordinators, our position coaches did a phenomenal job. We're the only school in the state of Texas to play for a national championship. Regardless of the result, we were the only school in this state to get there. We were the only ones to get there. Top defense in the state, one of the top offenses in the state. All due respect to those guys, we had some guys that were way in the back statistically compared to our coaches and compared to our team. And so if that's the criteria, then why weren't they selected? Why weren't they invited? And I can only think of one thing. It has nothing to do with any of the fluff that you might say. My issue with the THSCA coaches board that picks clinic speakers is you don't respect our ball. And I'm sitting here and I'm getting about tired of that. You don't respect our ball because we're a historical black college. You don't respect our ball because you thought Prairie View was something that Prairie View A&M is not anymore. And I'm from this state. I know the good old boy network. I get it. That time is over with. Prairie View A&M plays real ball. We play real ball. We coach real ball. We recruit real football players. And so whatever you thought it was, it ain't that anymore. So I don't need you to text me and call me and say, hey, Jack, what are you doing? Jack know exactly what he's doing. Jack is calling out the nonsense that continues to happen when it comes to our football at Prairie View A&M. We will not sit on our hands and be disrespected anymore. If you wanted to give coaches in the room some more good stuff to hold on to and take back to their team, then you should have invited our coaches. And I understand that you should have invited them. So we're not going to sit here and act like it shouldn't have happened. We should have been there. They should have been there. They earned it.
Joe, I'm going to start with you. Coach T-Jack said, you don't respect our ball. We ain't the same old Prairie View. Didn't invite my coaches. That kind of ties in some of your through line that you just said on the last topic. What you got, Zoe?
I think two things can be true. I think he's telling the truth. I think he's spot on. But I also think that to have this feeling that because you did something in 1 year, then that automatically should translate to what you believe should have happened for your staff, and it don't work that way. I think to his point, to his credit, his coaches, because they won, they were worthy, but that doesn't guarantee, because like I told you, they want guarantees. Well, we won, we did this, so in my estimation, we should have been here this year for this. And what he's fighting against, and let's just call it what it is, I don't think it's necessarily him being at HBCU. I think he's fighting against the stigma of being at Prairie View, which he spoke to. He said, we're not the same Prairie View, but I mean, he has to come to the realization that he's fighting up against it. Like, it is what it is. I can't speak that, right? I can speak for example, like Jackson State, TC's led the MHSAA Coaches Clinic before. Hell, Trey Johnson just led it for basketball for the state of Mississippi basketball this summer, right? That they have over at, I believe it was at Belhaven or Millsaps. It was one of them for the Mississippi Athletic Coaches Association. So, again, and granted, it's two different states, so it's probably some other semantics and politics involved in that. I don't live in Texas, so I can't speak to that, right? But I think, in my humble opinion, I just think, I think if they, I think if he has another season, then it gives more teeth to what he was saying. But just because you did something in 1 year, doesn't automatically guarantee that you should just have, whatever you think that you should have, Are they worthy because they won? Yeah, sure they are. But just because you're worthy doesn't mean that you get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he goes back, because actually at that point in time, since he said what he said, you go back and you win again, then guess what? Now you have even more of a leg to stand on. Now you gave him what you said, even more teeth. But just to say that you automatically should get it just by virtue of you winning some in 1 year, I can't necessarily agree with that. But time will tell, Now, the thing I would ask is, is him, doing what he's doing by voicing his opinion, does it help his cause? We don't know. It could help. Hell, it could make things even tougher. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who the other coaches are. You know what I'm saying? Because, some people don't take kind of being called out. So I can't speak to that either. The people in Texas could probably speak to that, or other coaches, or no guys, or who are other coaches in this. So, just depending in that regard, you know what I'm saying? But I think the one thing that needs to go to his case will be just to win more. Change that tide, change the perception of Prairie View, because some people are not going to see it in 1 year the way you do. And you're talking about coaches at other programs, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the state of Texas. And who knows how they're feeling or what they're thinking. So,
Perry, what you got? You heard Coach T-Jack says he feels that they're disrespecting his ball.
I think all Coach Tremaine Jackson, in my opinion, with a statement that he's making, is just putting everybody on notice. In my opinion, I don't think he's trying to truly say that I expect it now, but I think he is putting everybody on notice to say, in the future, consider this, because don't take it as a 1 year because you don't respect our ball, because you don't know who we are, because You've seen, he says this all the time, we're not Prairie View of the 90s.
Right.
Think
He
about
does.
how many people who not even in our space that may be around Texas that they knew Prairie View for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And it's hard for them to get that out of their mind of the Prairie View. Isn't it hard for us in the HBCU space not to look at them in that way? If you want to talk shit to Prairie View fans, what's the first thing you go back and talk about? That losing streak, right? Is that the first thing of ammunition that you load up with and you throw it over at them?
Do it.
For the people that's in Texas who, guess what? Although Texas has 2 SWAC schools, man, they don't, as big as Texas is, have y'all ever drove into Texas coming in from Baton Rouge or from Louisiana? They tell you El Paso 850 damn miles.
Bro, listen.
Texas a big ass state. And don't everybody know about Prairie View or don't everybody know about the SWAC? But I think he's doing it in a genius way. He's being loud. He's basically Joe Clark walking around the school with the megaphone saying, get them chains off the door. He's letting everybody know who we are. And the only way I can let you know that is if I bring awareness to who we are and what we're doing, because otherwise you may not know. And in this day and age, a little bit of controversy don't hurt nobody when you're trying to get somebody attention. And I believe that's all this is. He's trying to get their attention by letting them know we are Prairie View. We are doing these things. And don't overlook us. Don't forget about us, because I know for a lot of you, you still look at us as that losing streak Prairie View because you haven't been keeping up with us. You haven't been watching the SWAC, and you don't know really what the HBCU National Championship is. But I'm letting you know, I myself, along with my staff, are putting in work down here, loud and clear on my megaphone. Pay attention if you were not paying attention before. I think that's all that was. I don't take it as, anything else, that he's just putting them on notice. And what's a better way of putting somebody on notice than slapping a bumper stick on the side of your car and riding around with a megaphone and letting them know who to vote for, right?
Now, I'm gonna tell you when I heard this, and I'm a big T-Jack fan. And one thing about it, I like what he always does. Because to me, and people in Texas can talk about this, they know better, they live down there. But I think whenever he talks about Prairie View, and Perry, to your point, he's always going to reset the table. That's his whole thing. I've got to get people to stop thinking that this is Prairie View though, because it's for recruiting, for donations, for scheduling games, all these things I think are part of it. But my question is, and when he came out with this, and now we're living in the state, he lives in the state in Texas, is there going to be any blowback for them good old boys down there at that conference? Like, who the hell is saying this about me? That's what I'm curious about. If there's not, you don't think so?
No blowback. I mean, no. Tremaine Jackson, they respect him as a coach. He was there, right? He's saying respect my assistants. It's just, I don't think there's no blowback because it's like, it's not going to affect their bottom line. It's not going to affect no recruits for them. Outside of us talking, I don't think this is a big talking point in the state of Texas amongst football analysts, right? This is amongst us, but he's specifically calling out those coaches because he know I have to be loud for them. They recognize me, but they may have overlooked my staff. He's just being loud to say, hey, don't overlook my staff. You may see me, but hey, I got a good group of guys too. And I think that's all this is. I don't think no blowback will come back from this at all.
Yeah, because see, like I say, and I think this is to your point, and this is what head coaches do. They want to make sure their assistants get recognized. So I like the fact that he's fighting for his assistants and say, hey, my guys know how to coach ball. We need to be here. And also, again, when it's at these camps, this is, again, conferences, these are connections that you want to make with these high school coaches because you're recruiting their players. That is a really big deal when you're on there. And like I said, again, we know Texas sends all those kids to all those other FCS schools and don't want to send them to Texas Southern, don't want to send them to Prairie View. But again, recruiting is about relationships. It's always
why I think he's being loud because before, imagine how many high school coaches laugh when you say send a kid to Texas Southern. Our facilities here is better than Texas Southern. Send a kid to Prairie View up until right before COVID. Our facilities here was better. And then you may ask, well, when was the last time you've been down to Prairie View? They might not even been to Prairie View to even see the new facilities that they got down there. They just remember what it was with the stadium back in the day. So it's just what he's doing is just ringing the alarm. He's ringing the bell just to get everybody attention and say, it's probably been years since you thought about sending a guy to Prairie View or that Prairie View has made contact with your schools throughout the state of Texas. And as big as Texas is, I think he's doing the right thing. Once again, sounding alarm and just getting everybody's attention to say, it's a new day that I'm here. There was no coaches before me who got loud about it. There was just coaches. There was coaches that was here that just did the job, put their head down, and went on about their business, right? But once again, he's letting you know those coaches before were just probably trying to be good HBCU football coaches. I'm trying to be a great coach, period, not just on the HBCU level. Coaches before, I think, may have, and this is just my opinion, I'm not speaking facts, but they may have not even looked at the totality of the state of Texas as a whole, because they were so in the bubble of being the SWAC coach, right? And being in those same schools that they've been recruiting in before that's associated with the HBCU, the Black college experience. Tremaine, like, I don't give a damn about none of that. I want ballers. I want to be in everybody's school. I want you to see my coaches so you can feel good with my coaches. So if a kid say, I want to go play DB, hey, is Prairie View a good school? I know Prairie View's DB coach. Hey, man, you're going to learn a lot down there with that guy. That guy, Tazo, can get you to the FBS level if you go there from the FCS level, right? He may be able to get you a couple dollars, and I think that's all that's here. That's all this is just waking people up. Just like we may not be in the space to talk about Southern Miss all the time, right? But there's a space of people that's talking about Southern Miss all the time, and we completely oblivious to that world and that bubble of Southern Miss and Sun Belt football, right? Where we're not watching their forums and listening to those issues that they bring up, and we'll be amazed at how many people are oblivious to our space, especially with the name of Prairie View and the SWAC. So there may not be a lot of respect on it to the point of them saying, I think there's good coaches there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm like Grace would say. First of all, T-Jack been coaching for a second. He ain't no rookie, so trust me. When he made that video, he knew exactly why he made that video, and he knew the audience he was talking to, and he had no problem making that video. And I think this is what happens when I see these people. You have people like, oh, I can't believe he's making this video. He don't even recruit high school players, and I was just like, how silly is that to even put that out there on social media? That was just ridiculous. Talking about he don't recruit high school players, and then they try to get a clip and take it out of order to say, see. But I'm going to just tell you this, and this is my biggest thing. You got to stand up for something, man. You got to stand up for something. I think it's legitimate. I think it's a legitimate point, even if it's for selling the program, or it's legitimate, hey, we as Black coaches at HBCU need to be in these spaces. I don't have any problem with it. I think that's what he should have done. So, hey, man, shout out to T-Jack on that. Well, look, man, we got two more things, and we're going to get up out of here and everything. We did not talk about one of the things that just happened this week. And I'm just curious because this is you guys' generation. LeBron James, Perry. So
LeBron James
is going to the 76ers. And you know what? Why he didn't go to the Cavs or Heat? You know what I mean? And that's what they said. And this is Wendy. James believes he picked the 76ers our best position to win the 2027 NBA title with him, join the team. He said in a statement on X, he announced, I believe I can help Philadelphia 76ers be a championship team, and I'm so excited to energize a new fan base. What do you guys think about this? LeBron not going to Miami, LeBron not going to Cleveland, LeBron not going to Minnesota. We did a throwdown. We're going to do another throwdown. I'm going to get my basketball guys. But Zoe, LeBron James going to 76ers. They going to the championship, or this is just something or nothing?
Who knows, man? I'm so disconnected from basketball right now because it's football season. But I mean, honestly, man, it's possible. I mean, it's possible, dog. I'm not gonna sit and say they don't have a damn shot because if Embiid can play less games now because LeBron's there, they're gonna be in the conversation, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's basketball, dog.
Hey,
man, it's LeBron James, man.
Jordan went to the Wizards. Shaq went to the Celtics. I mean, Charles Barkley went to Houston. I mean, it's just a destination. It does not. I mean, he went to somewhere that was already supposed to be quote unquote championship expectation with championship caliber players, right? He didn't go there with the hopes of him coming there because this time I didn't hear not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4.
Oh yeah, you ain't doing that no more.
No, man, this is the bad. It's LeBron James riding out into the sunset. He just trying to run with some young bulls that he feel like can probably be the closest to send him out on top. That's all. And the 76ers just seem to have enough space to where it allows him to be him, but he can let them youngsters run up and down the court and beat them as well, man. We're just watching the end of an era right in front of our face, man. I don't think it's gonna last long, man. Maybe how long they gave him? What was
2 years? He got 2 years. He was player option.
It's over with. Yeah, we just watching them fade off into glory. That's all. So it's been a great ride.
I gotta be honest, man. Basketball don't even exist right now. I gotta be honest. Basketball don't even exist right now over here.
Basketball is what?
Basketball don't even exist over here right now.
He's focused. He's focused. He got Tennessee State on his mind.
Y'all got Big Perk over there at Jackson State.
But, oh yeah, you know.
Hey, basketball don't what? I thought that created the buzz for the basketball.
I don't get no shit about that till November.
Oh.
Well, listen, guys, I'm gonna do a throwdown show. So for people that do care, I'm gonna get my man Cliff Hoop Jargon, and get my other folks on here, HBCU Hoop Weekly. We're gonna get it all on there. Now listen, all right, I'm gonna ask you this, and then I got one more. And this is up to you guys because it's getting late. Do you guys want to talk about this Howard thing or not? It's up to y'all.
Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about they dropping those students?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, come on, somebody
okay.
Somebody out there probably want to hear about.
Yeah, they did.
Hold on, so what's wrong with Zoe tonight?
He listen. And Zoe, listen, if you gotta check out me and Pericope last thing.
No, I'm good, man. You talking about basketball and some like.
Come on, Zoe.
But Zoe, wait now, Zoe. Wait a minute now, Zoe.
Come on, Zoe.
That's LeBron. No, wait. We ain't talking about just battle. That's LeBron James now. That's y'all icon or y'all. You a Jordan guy.
I'm a Jordan guy.
I'm not even a Jordan guy.
Well, you a Kobe guy.
I'm a Laker.
I'm a Jordan guy. Can't nobody tell me Michael Jordan ain't the greatest.
I'm
ready to take that argument with anybody.
See, you hear Perry? I don't name names.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Laker. I don't get that.
So you got a franchise. You got a favorite team. I got you.
Damn right.
So you were a LeBron fan last year.
Oh, nah,
No, you a Laker.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you was a Lamar Odom's fan before.
I was. I was.
Huh?
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that comes with the Lakers. So LeBron, that shouldn't matter to you. LeBron just walked away from the Lakers.
Look, right now you carrying on too much talking about basketball with 4 days before, 6 days before August.
Said you was a Laker, so before that, I said we talking about fucking basketball. This about to be August 1st. Yeah, you got to get ready. Basketball to be here by homecoming. By homecoming,
man. I just want you to know, freshmen have reported on campus, man. Like we thinking the thing. Preseason actually start this weekend.
There you go.
All
right,
so they don't play
so listen, man, we're gonna do a throwdown show.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Perry come on there. Perry, that's all right. I'm gonna bring you on.
Don't being mean tonight, man. I don't know what's wrong. Zoe being mean, man. Come on, Zoe being mean, bro. I don't know why Zoe being mean tonight, man. It's getting late.
Let's get to this Howard thing, and then I got my video of the week that I got to play. Got my close out. That's my new thing, video of the week. So I got to get to that.
That boy says,
hey man, this was a big thing in HBCU space. Let me get all this right here. Howard University unenrolls hundreds of freshmen over unpaid bills weeks before fall semester begins. And this is just a highlight. Earlier this week, Howard University unenrolled 502 students after missed payment deadlines. Several students, including those awaiting external scholarships, expressed frustration over losing their spots of the Dream School. The university said they're reviewing a case and providing resources for financial aid. So you saw a lot of videos of kids talking about, hey, we didn't know. They told us that, I got scholarships that's going to cover it. And then I saw a whole group of people. So it's two sides of this. You had people that had some empathy, and then you had a whole lot of people, especially people that don't even have kids, which I found interesting. They should have been reading the emails. They should have known what was going on. And you know what? The other 2,000 did, but no 500 did. So I saw this, but here's the thing. I also saw and this is the other side. You know, I got to do it. This is conspiracy theory. This lady brought up what she said with some receipts of what's going on in the house. So I'm gonna play this video, and then we can talk about it on the other side because that's the headline. The people kicking the folks out of the house. Hold on, wait a minute. There we go. Let me make sure I got this right. Because she said she got the receipts. All right, hold on. And I thought this was pretty interesting right here, what she broke down. But it could be CON conspiracy. Because she said Howard already had a plan to kick these students out. So here she go.
Had a meeting, frantically trying to figure out how they were going to take their incoming freshman class of 3,000 and whittle it down to their projected number of 2,400. Did you know that from May through June and July, they continued to accept students? Over enrollment, no big deal. But put a pin in that. I'll be right back. So let's go back to that July 15th meeting. Here's a screenshot from that meeting. They had to devise a plan to figure out who's coming and who won't be able to become a bison. So as you can see at the top in red, this meeting was about a de-enrollment strategy. Howard University's goal is 2,400 for incoming first-time college students. Right now, we are over by 300 plus, and it was more than that. Therefore, on or about July 20th, students that have not met all 4 of the above criteria that are not protected class, put a pin in that, will be de-enrolled. And so they came up with a rubric to see who they were going to put out, which included if you didn't pay your housing deposit, if you didn't register for classes, if you didn't submit health forms, and if you had not paid 50% of your balance by last Friday, which would have been July 10th. 3,000 students. Let's get it down to 2,400. Let's come up with this rubric. Oh, and we can't touch the protected class of students. Now, what might that be, you ask? For admissions and housing, they have a protected class, a group of students. They're special. You know, like famous people, their children, they're a protected class, presidential honors, other academic honors students, athletes. Oh, and staff. Staff can have favorites, and they're protected also. So say like Usher's son is on campus, he's on the list to be protected. So now let's go back to the July 15th meeting. They created a rubric. There were those 4 bullet points. Don't touch any of the protected class of students, and let's start to make a list. The first group of students that would be put out were those that didn't pay anything at all on their balance, the 0% people. Wednesday, you got to notice. The next group that would be put out were those of you that paid at least 25% on your bill. You got to notice Thursday. And the final group were those of you that paid at least 50% on your balance. You were put out on Friday. They knew they over-enrolled. They knew they had too many students. They thought for some reason that when you all heard about the housing situation, you were going to change your mind, or they were going to frustrate you enough for you to not want to come, even though you all were so determined to go to Howard. I know for a fact that enrollment, the bursar, financial aid, and admissions, every time you called them, they gave you a different story. Yeah, that was on purpose. If you called an office and spoke to a student representative that was trying to assist you, they gave you bad information also. That was intentional. So they over-enrolled, continued to admit students.
Cut that right there.
She making a whole lot of.
When I saw this, so somebody sent this to me, right? And the only thing about this I found interesting is, and this is what I will say: if anybody knows Howard, Hampton, Morehouse, Spelman, now this is what I do know: they always push people up front. They got that check, 100% fact. They don't like financial aid folks.
She bringing up Usher's son like they not gonna pay the damn bill beforehand. They don't fall into this category. That tuition is paid for. It's the shit. There ain't no problems with Usher over there paying that tuition.
Hey, Perry, she said it wrong. Hell, that's the damn protection it's paid for.
Yeah, that's the protection. She making it seem like they singling out people, and even if you did pay 100%, they get no. They not finna carry this debt going into the semester. We used to call this purge in the system. This used to happen about 3 weeks into the school, right?
I was about to say, I thought this was kind of like commonplace at damn near every school.
Yeah, like we call it purge in the system. Instead, they're just doing it before you get there and setting the guidelines. I know at Southern, after about 3 weeks, if your shit ain't paid for, you looking then to tell the teacher going through on that roll and say, hey, your name not on this roll. You might need to go see somebody.
Hey, I got a question. Steve, you went to FAMU, Pierre, you at Southern. I went to Jack State. I had a question. And everybody in the chat, I want y'all to hear me real good. Name me the school that you apply to as a freshman, and you get some correspondence. I'm gonna say in the mail because I'm dating ourselves, but now you probably get it online, right? Name me the school that's gonna give you some correspondence back and say, you know what, we're not accepting no more applications. Name me one.
They're gonna take everybody. No, that's what they do. That's all.
So that's why. That's why. So name me the school that's gonna say, hey, we feel we got enough. I'm sorry that we can't take you in. Name me the school that's going to say that's not going to overtake freshmen. Every school does it. Harvard does it. Every school does it.
I know. Look, I know at the HBCU, when they do, they stop answering the phone calls. Don't
I'm
call
trying
the
to tell
office
you.
of admission. Ain't nobody gonna answer. Then this ain't nothing but a filter system. They just filtering out who's handling business and who's not before the season start. Before school start. Do not move your ass on campus and drop them kids off, knowing you did not take care of that just for you to have to come back if you don't pay it in 2-3 weeks. Most instances, I know at Southern, you can show up and I think you can have a certain percentage paid. And then if not, after about 2-3 weeks, you're going to get that letter if you stand on campus on your door saying, hey, tuition not paid. You probably need to go down and see the person at the desk. And they're going to tell you, yeah, you probably need to have somebody here by 2 days to come pick your shit up. Howard just said we ain't even finna waste our time. Either you paying or you not. And I don't think there's nothing crazy about that.
Well, here's the thing. As somebody who has had 3 kids and got basically a grandkid that's going to FAMU right now, here's the only pushback I will say. And this is what I have my problem when people get on here online. And again, that you ain't never had no kids go through college. Don't tell me about you going through college because I don't want to hear that. It's totally different with your parent. But what I will say is, and this is what concerned me, is that kids that have scholarships, because scholarships do not drop at this time. That just does not happen. You're not going to get that because first of all, they have to make sure that you're there before they even transmit the money. So the school has to say they're enrolled, they're ready to go, you can send the money. That's sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Now back at FAMU, we used to have what we call short-term loans to cover that. But you were already on campus and going to class. And you would go to financial aid and say, hey, I got a scholarship, I got a Pell Grant, and they said, FAMU said, it ain't come in yet. You can get a short-term loan, or we can defer you. But sometimes they do it nice and defer because they can see the actual date when the money was coming. So that's my concern. If those are students like that got purged, then I got a problem with that. I got a big problem with that. Because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing wrong. Everybody does not have money to go to Howard. If you are a great student and you got scholarships, then you need to honor that because that is nothing new. That is nothing new. So that's why my thing when I saw this and everybody talking back and forth. But I'm going to tell you like this, Perry, this happens at every school. The people made these videos and stuff like that and hire people, going off. But I'm just going to say, for y'all that don't have no kids, stop talking because you don't understand what this goes through. Stop. If you don't have college-age kids, stop talking. There's too many of y'all that's online that ain't got no college-age kids. Stop it.
Look, so I've been purged out the system before, boy. I know what that hurt like when the teacher do the roll or you go to the cab, that damn card don't work. It
can't get nothing.
Hey, they like, yeah, you probably need to go see somebody at the front office. It's like, damn, but it just worked this morning for breakfast. No.
Listen.
They just shut you off.
Straight cut off. Straight go up there. Oh, man, I had that every semester. That was me. So I totally feel it, man. I totally feel it. So, I just wanted to, people talk that. All right, man, this is the last thing we closing out, man. So, Perry, listen. I got a new thing now, man. I'm getting old, and it's just some things I just don't understand that the young folks do. So last week, it was the guys up in Mississippi State. And shout out to and I had to go look it up. Dancing to a Saucy Santana song of all people.
Oh, no, Mr. Campbell. I know you ain't going to do nothing with this.
No. We already did that last week. But what I'm saying is I get old, and I see these things like old people. So I got another video for y'all to explain this to me, okay? So this is another, and pair this down your way. And I saw this, not LSU, not SU, but LSU. And I'm just like confused. So y'all gonna have to help me out because I saw this. And this is Jason Seaton that came from Colorado. And this is him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, Jordan Seaton.
Jordan Seaton. And this is him and his girlfriend. And this is what they. Now, hold on. Now, here's the thing. Now, here is the quote that's in this that really bothered me. I don't care about you dancing, but this was the thing. Now, I don't know how true this is. LSU tackle Jordan Seaton has gone viral for flexing $50,000 worth of go-yard bags that he bought for his new girlfriend. Many fans are worried he spent all this NIL money. Okay.
I got a term for you. You may not like it, but
no, I am gonna like it. So go ahead.
This nigga shit. Okay.
Oh, well, no, hold on. We can't do that. You know, we can't.
Yeah. Because
that's how hard your boy almost didn't get his job. So no, just try it.
I just making sure I said the disclaimer before.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that disclaimer. No, we can't say that anymore, Scotty.
That's what this is. And not only, how do we know? Look, black folks have always found a way to get shit out of the back of a trunk or the back of a store, the back of somewhere. We know ain't nobody just blowing 50K. It may look like 50K worth for something, right, but at the end of the day, that ain't. Come on, man. We know our people owe too well. Don't buy into this. Hell, how we even know that shit real? You know, we know a lot of designer looking shit in our community, don't we? I'm just putting the obvious out there when it comes to our community, where I don't think this kid blew 50. And there's plenty of places he can get bags that look like he blew 50,000. Folks do it all the time when they got on jewelry. You would swear they got $1 million on. Huh? What you say?
No, you go ahead. You rocking.
Oh yeah, they look like they got $1 million worth of glitterati on, and you put that diamond test on it, and you find out these jokers sitting around here with $1,200 worth of something on. Maybe one or two things may have a little carat to it, but that's about it. So I wouldn't, we live in the age of stunting for social media. And that's what the young folks want to do, look like they stunt. Back in the day, you stunted in the club, right? That's where you went to stunt. Back in the day, you had your fit. That's why you went and got that refund check, and then you dipped out so you can get fresh for that party Friday night. Now they just do it for social media, man. So that's all. I'm just explaining to you. I remember back in your day, I know how y'all stunt in the club, right? Y'all stunt big time in the club.
Come on now.
Oh, hey, Perry. Steve was in the moon too.
Bro, listen, but hold on. Let me. Okay, because this is why.
What you see? Go true. You was in the moon. What you see?
No. See, I can't. No, wait a minute now. Now, mind you, the era I came up was the ball and shot call era of Puffy now, right? But let me tell you when the things changed, right? Because we go to the club, we actually talk to girls and stuff like that. I'll never forget when I went to Miami. No, hold on. I'm about to say this. Yeah. Because first of all, and I guess I want to show this too, because you know what? I got to do it because this is just what it is. Because this goes back, and this is his little girlfriend. This is one of her little shots of his little girlfriend. So we just got to put it out there. This little girl that's getting the go-yard bags from him and everything. See, when you saw a girl like this, we went the other way because let me tell you something. In Miami, this one was crazy.
That's a big.
And I'll never forget this. We used to talk to girl, and I'll never forget when I first heard this phrase, "Yo, ma, I got money." I turned around, I said, "Wait, did that guy just say to this girl, yo, ma, I got money?"
See, man, they out there, they grooming tricks out there, man.
So I'm just like, so this girl probably don't go to LSU, and you gonna tell me this girl really like this boy, this girl right here,
bruh.
You gonna tell me this girl?
Hey man, like why did you even have to say that, man? See that you prove the theory that so many people say, man. I mean, they out to just tricking, man. Ain't got no game. Tricking.
No game.
Hey ma, I got money.
Yo, ma, I got money, and that's what I'm saying, bro. So you get on here, and I'm like, Perry, even if like Perry Point, they went on Canal Street behind and got these go-yard bags.
That's right. Buy classic. The table.
deep. But I'm just like, bro, you gonna get on here and let this girl, and let's just say if it was 50 G's, and you know this girl don't like you, man. And I don't know why them big offensive linemen fall for this all the time. Them big boys, I've seen this when I was an agent. Now, you want to talk about to get their money? They go get them big boys. Them big boys give that money up. Them big boys give that money up. So, I just saw this, and I just wanted to make sure. This is what this is now, right?
Yeah.
Because, see, I'm going to tell you something. Now, let me tell you something. Now, here, I'm going to stop showing her because she's irrelevant to this point. See, Perry, back in our day, when old man,
you didn't have to stop showing them, man. I mean, we ain't blowing the bag on it, but we can. My eyes do work.
Yeah. Now, well, I'll get another picture. But let me tell you something about old players back in the day. Old player, Mr. Henry, he always be around. Always had money in his pocket. You never knew exactly what Mr. Henry was doing and who he was giving it to, but you knew he was giving it to somebody. But you never saw her.
Hey man, Mr. Charlie, just a man doing the best he can.
Oh man, listen, Mr. Charlie, come on there, fix your
president.
brakes. Oh, he was fixing one of your mama's brakes. I'm just letting y'all know.
Hey,
He was fixing one of your mama's brakes.
You know who Cuddy is?
Yeah.
Huh? You know what
Come
it's
on.
like when Cuddy come around. You know what Cuddy doing.
Come on, man. It's like what are we talking about? So the game was meant to be told, not sold, Perry.
Man, look, you live in the age, and I say this all the time, and I guess I'll leave it with this. Back in the day, you had to have, before social media and before all this, what you're talking about, I mean, going to the mall was like practice hunting. Like, when you go out in the wilderness and y'all say, hey, let's see who can go catch the most rabbits today. That's what that was. We went as a group. It was like, all right, who gonna get the most numbers today?
For sport, bro.
And the most numbers wasn't in her DMs. You had to walk up to her, get her attention, talk to her, get her to laugh, and then get her number. And then once you get her number, you don't text her. You got to call that house, get whoever pick it up. Could be her brother, her uncle, her daddy, her mama, her grandmama, her sister, whoever. You got to get interrogated by them first, because they want to know who the hell is this on the phone with my little sister or with my daughter or with my niece. All right. And then look, once you go through that, then you get on the phone with her. Now you got to have, hey, you remember back in the day, boy, that phone had you all over the house. You'll be sitting on the washing machine on the phone. You'll be sitting upside down on the wall, on the phone, back up, legs in the air on the couch. It don't matter. You had to have game, and that game kept you having to conversate with her. You couldn't stunt for her unless when she saw you in person, but there was no facade to paint for her. And it was okay to be average in those days. Girls respected just a guy. Hey, if you had a job at McDonald's, shit, hey, baby, he worked. You could have had a little putt car. Hey, at least he got a whip. Now, you ain't got to have that type of game no more when it comes to social media. And see what happened then, the fear of rejection kept a lot of, I say this all the time.
Talk to him.
In them days, everybody wasn't getting no cat in terms of guys.
Oh,
hey,
no.
Everybody wasn't getting no cat. They may talk and act like it, but they was stunned, man, because you ain't had no game to get them girls. Now you can slide in the DMs and see rejection was a big thing. I knew a lot of cats who were scared of rejection. It took me one time, 11 years old at the skating ring, my cousins, this is a true story, and this is how I understood what rejection was. My cousin said, man, the worst thing she could say is no, keep going till you got another chick gonna say, and I never looked at perspective. I was scared to hear no from a chick. Can I get your number? No. And then I thought that was the end of the world. He like, man, the hell with that. It's 20 more girls over there, bro. Go talk. That was part of the game. And so at that point, I wasn't scared of the rejection no more. So I can go to the mall and shit. I'm fishing. I may get 10 bites and I may fool around and reel 10 in. That was just the type of day of work that it had to go with it. But today, rejection ain't a thing, man. You can slide in the chick DM. She don't respond back. That's easy rejection. It's a difference when a woman rejects you to your face. And it don't take no game when you can stun in front and put up a facade in front of her to look like you this big baller shot call and your ass ain't got nothing because your mama and daddy pay your bills and cover your insurance. And then you look like you're doing it on your own. And you're doing that for her. And guess what? She got you thinking she's some high-end chick.
Oh,
Out there, catfish.
But let me tell you what's gonna be even worse.
No paper plates, drinking out paper cups, sitting in a folding chair, sleeping on the air mattress at the house.
Come on. But you know what's gonna be really worse for this young man? is how many of them girls. Now his DMs is lit up. His DMs, because boy, they hunting now.
That's how you get it to light up, because it look like he drinking, and that's what they want. Like, girl.
Listen, he got so many that look like that little girl that's hitting his DM up. So, like I say, and that's the thing about it. He gonna go from 1 to 2 weeks from now, they gonna be broke up, but she gonna look at his DM because his DMs is lit up, and he gonna go with that little girl, and he gonna kick her to the curb, and all that money gonna get gone. All they get, because let me tell you something, man, and this is the thing. Hey man, listen, hey Zoe, you gonna understand this. Zoe, I had a Nissan Sentra, and I went all the way from Callaway to Provine to Jim Hill to Forest Hill in that joint.
Oh, you in West Jackson.
Hey man, 220 was my friend, Zoe. And they were like, Steve, you got a girlfriend over at Provine Jim Hill. I said, man, you game.
Well, you couldn't pay me to go date nobody at Provine.
Man, listen, boy. Hey, listen. See that back in your day. See, my day, West Jackson. Listen, man. Steve, but see, here's the thing, though.
I was with it.
But see, I'm going to Paris Point. You know what's the worst thing about me? I got to this height and stopped. But you know what, though? My heart, though, never stopped. I had no problem shooting no game.
Steve, you already know. You already know. I was with it.
I shot it with a Nissan Sentra.
Steve, I was with it. What I need to go to West Jackson for? I'm with it.
Hey, man, listen. I'm just telling you. So to Perry Point, when you had to, man, listen, when you stepped to that girl and like to Perry Point, skate rink, oh, bro. Look, you had a whole crowd, and you listen, but what you gonna do? So you got the man up. So you don't like you. It's that 5-30 seconds, and everybody just like, and then you looking at your boys, and then you get that number. Oh, what?
That party when you walk up behind her, either she gonna turn around and she gonna drop it low, or she gonna turn around and push you off and go on. Look, it's part of the game.
Hey, Steve, you see Mr. Don't Play 6 comment? I have to go to West Jackson. I was where they was.
Hey, man, listen, but listen, man, I was international longer than Jack, but I will say this now, and I pair my grown days, because I still don't believe in that. But I will say though, my new little friend, my girlfriend, she slid in my DM though, Perry. She saw me on, she slid in. Listen.
She probably looked like some dollar signs.
Oh man, listen. She heard about them 22. She slid in there. She cute now. She bad.
She been watching the show, and she
was watching the show, Perry.
She saw that Cadillac every time you come on with that
she was watching the show.
You know what I'm saying?
Slid in the DM. But she like your boy now. You know what I'm saying? She bad though. She bad. She fine.
She young.
No. See, I don't do no. See, listen. I don't do no young girls. If you ain't got no 401k, I don't talk to you. You see what I'm saying? You see, I can't.
That's a whole nother conversation for when we get older. Do we go for the younger girls? Do we go for the middle-aged girls? Zoe, you married, getting there. You got to get off you got to cross the. So I won't get you in trouble tonight because you got.
No, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna make this simple. And there are so many beautiful HBCU women for whatever reason, because y'all don't know how to act right. They get to this age and they ain't never been married. They ain't got no kids, but they got plenty of money and plenty of good time to be had.
That's all that's in it.
So that's why I don't like no young girl.
That's all. You know what? That's all that's in Atlanta.
Listen, that's all in all the HBCU space. Let me tell you something. I'd have been to all these and hey, Mr. Campbell, how you doing? I seen you on YouTube. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? And be my age. But I step back because I'm a faithful brother, Perry. Faithful brother. That's what it is. Cause I ain't got no time to be. Because see, one thing about it, and I'll tell y'all this: going out is expensive, and I can't be taking the 3 or 4 women out. Because me, we gotta go somewhere nice. You know what I'm saying? So you go somewhere nice, 2 or 3, man. That's $600-700, my boy.
Hey, I'm for the streets right now. So
I'm
still roaming.
No, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But see, at Joy, I was dead for the streets. I was dead for the streets. Listen, at Joy, we were throwing them parties all across the world. Oh man, I didn't care. You didn't have to speak English. It was over. Just talk to you. So that's it. But let's end on a good note because Zoe is getting married. And you know what? Let's drop this one more time in the chat. Zoe's cash out.
So and you have to get married. That's crazy.
So listen, man, y'all. Hey, listen in the chat. Hey, man, y'all bless my boy Zoe. Because you know what Zoe found out? He found the right woman Jamaica, right? That's correct, right? Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? So God bless, because he ain't for the streets. He got one, and guess what? She's gonna be Mrs. Phillips. That's my girl right there. She came on last week, said she Mrs. Phillips. So man, go ahead and drop my man a little something. Bless him, you know. And so, all right, so listen, you're gonna be gone for how many weeks?
2
weeks. So Perry, I might need you to come on back and roll out if you're available. Because we gotta keep this thing going.
We can look and see.
I know, I appreciate it. So Zoe's gonna be gone for 2 weeks. I'm gonna have Perry, Mike Reed, man, Blue, somebody gonna be on it because we're gonna keep sipping on Sundays because football is coming up. We got to talk about it. And you know what, man, Perry get them good breakdowns, man. So you know, we're gonna have just a segment just for Perry just to go and talk about what's going on in the SWAC and everything, man. Perry's doing outstanding work on the Jaguar Journal every Saturday morning. But Perry, I'm just gonna say this once again. You know, I appreciate you, man. I love you being on Sipping on Sundays. Hopefully you can help me out these next 2 weeks. But Perry, tell the folks where they can find you at.
Oh man, the Jaguar Journal. You can go on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch TV, wherever you can go find it. Just type in the Jaguar Journal across all social media as well. On Talk 107.3 FM every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm early in the morning, but guess what? You can always go back and rewatch the show or whatever on our YouTube channel or anything else where we do our live. Then you also can keep up with me with On the Yard Network across all social media as well as YouTube as well. You just type in On the Yard Network. So between the Jaguar Journal, which is more radio, and On the Yard, which is more internet, man, I ain't hard to find.
Zoe, tell the people what you about to do and where you having your wedding at, and so I can push that cash out one more time. When's your wedding?
Man.
Tell them about it.
Look, man, Sipping on Sundays, man. I've been telling y'all for the past couple of weeks, man. Y'all want to tune in during football season, man. It's gonna be in depth. It's gonna be good over here on this side, man. But that's it, man. Pretty much that, bro. Just Sipping on Sundays every week.
Well, man, Zoe, listen, man. We all listen. Sipping on Sundays family is happy for you, man. I'm super excited. You know what I mean? I know you're gonna come back, even but listen. Now, I'm gonna say one thing though. You got to retire that Baywatch shirt. This is one time only. That's the only time you can wear this Baywatch shirt now. That's the only time. You got to retire that.
Uncle Elroy.
Oh man, listen. Listen. I'm like, come on. I'm like, boy, now you got to retire that. So listen, man. If y'all don't do nothing else, man, please put it in the cash app just so he can come in at least, man. Because, bro, you can't do the Baywatch no more. You know what I mean, you just can't do it no more. And I got one other thing. So. Of course, she texted me because she's watching the show, and she said, "Excuse me." See, you know what I'm saying? So now I got to deal with that because I was running my mouth too hard. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, stand firm on your ground, brother.
Oh man, listen, hey, I'm a rattler,
be
man.
That man, brother. Hey,
listen, ain't gonna be no crying over here either. It ain't gonna be no crying.
Yeah,
man over here.
You the man of the house. You the man of the house. Yep.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep. You know it. You
say, baby, I do what I want to do.
She know it. She know who run things around here. She know. Hey man, but listen, man, I appreciate you all, man. Listen, we'll be back next Sunday or Monday. Zoe is again gone for 2 weeks, going to be on the other side, man. But once again, whoa, I'm tripping. Tomorrow, Rocky Miller channel, Coach Tremaine Jackson, me, Coach Cole, Rocky. Hey man, you know you're gonna hear right out of Tremaine Jackson's mouth of why he said what he said and talk about the new football season. Tuesday night. HBCU Coaches Corner, Chris Dishman talking about Texas Southern and what they're going to do and how they're going to win that Labor Day class. Let me make sure I pronounce that right. Certain coaches don't know the name of their classics, but there ain't no problem about that. I ain't going to say no names. But, hey, man, listen. So you got us back-to-back, man. Lock us in tomorrow night. T-Jack, Dishman on Tuesday. Might have a throwdown on Wednesday talking about LeBron. And then we'll be right back here on Sunday night, man. Appreciate you, man. And we always say, what you sipping on? See y'all later.